All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Um, hey, so some came to my attention. I had to boop on over to Twitch to make sure that the category switched properly, and I found out if you would like to buy a gift sub bundle for the channel for whatever reason, it is 30% or 35% off of 5 plus gift subs up until the 31st of March. I had to make sure at 10 a.m. PT. I'm just letting y'all know about that in case Twitch didn't update y'all, because Twitch is terrible at updating people about that. If I knew these things ahead of time, I'd say them at the top of the hour. Um, Either way, so we are about to finish Heaven Will Be Mine. We have done Lunaterra, we have done Saturn, we have done the Cradle's Graces ending, and the uh uh um fuck, I forgot, Memorial Foundation ending. So we're gonna go for different ending and playing as Pluto. Boop. Dude. Faction, Cradle's Graces, Self-Ship Macula. Cradle's Grace's ultimate weapon pilot. Even if Earth has given up on a new life, for humanity in space, Cradle's Graces hasn't, and Pluto will make that dream come true. Like succulents, good girls, crushing of both kinds, and everyone dislikes is trying very hard not to have any. Cradle's Graces, Narid OPIS. Oh god. Is not the unknown, the perception of impossible things, every distance in between, with perfect communication breath to breath, with perfect communication skin to skin, with perfect communication mouth to mouth, inside to inside, blood to blood, with perfect understanding across the bonds of culture, with perfect understanding across the boundaries of culture, with perfect access to the realization of the highest ideals, with the perfect access to the acceptance of the deepest depths. The solar system maps the human body. The solar system maps culture. In the center is the sun, which is synthesis. When the physical bodies of the solar system become our home, our ship through the universe, our body, their names will be given again. From the name of a rock such as Hades to the name of a part of us and ourselves such as Pluto. You are the sun. Through you, humans will possess their true body. As you were once born, through us, we too wish. Base override, system interrupt. Pluto? Hi, Doctor. I lost you for a moment there. Are you okay? I'm fine, Doctor. This is the first interference of its kind, or interface of its kind. If there's anything unusual about it, that will be hard to tell. Because by definition, it is very unusual. I'll let you know if it feels especially unusual next. Good. Let me know if something categorically impossible happens. Like what? If your sync got so deep that your thoughts were being dumped into the OS code directly, for example. If that happens, I'll let you know. Are you ready to begin? I've been ready for a long time. Begin activation test. Macula firmware loading. Dual tidal reactor syncing. Welcome to Cradle's Grace's bootloader 0Y0YC1. V.5.666.9123. Oh, why can't I? Bootlegging gravitational reactor. Done. Hyperdensity established. Done. Beginning resonance test. You should feel lightheadedness and wait. Wait until you're comfortable before diving in. Correct action, correct thought, correct belief, existing without fault, existing without ever harming the universe. To be the execution of what is right and good. The power over distance is also the power to harm. Harm by thinking, harm by breathing, harm by loving, harm by touching, harm by culture, harm by boundaries, harm by idealism, harm by depression, harm by infinity. Let us talk of harm by infinity. If the ninth planet in the solar system is not a planet, it is because it represents the point at which humans cross over into which that they are not, a phenomenon that is itself existentially threatening, regardless of how if that phenomenon manifests. That is the sea of possibility itself. All hopes and fears will... Pluto? How's the response? I'm doing great. Nothing weird. Like a computer, I accept it. All data, I accept it. All wishes, I accept them. I'm an infinite engine. I'm a star. I know exactly how. Execute and accept. System accepting and executing. Reactor chorus perfect resonance. No margin of error. Nix, you can hear me, right? Loud and clear, Pluto. Is it working? You're not saying anything. It's working perfectly. Flawless, on the first try. You really are the one who brings impossible things. You're thinking too hard about it, Doctor. I can't do things like that. Be a little more generous to yourself. But it's also your right not to be. Pilot core link? Done. Do you feel centered? Yeah. Do you feel the phantom presence of the ship's limbs? This is normal. Yes. Do you feel the presence of other bodies or other people nearby? This is normal. Yes. Do you feel as if other nearby people or bodies may also be your own body? This is not normal. How would I know the difference? Fair. Do you feel like a god yet? Not really. There's no need to be modest. Prep for launch. It hasn't been that long since we all started fighting, but everything really did go just how I imagined it. Even holding the controls of the machine everyone's so scared of, just like this, doesn't feel like butterflies or dread. It feels like the only thing that could have happened. I know how hard they worked because they were so scared you wouldn't be finished. Wait. You know how hard they worked because they were so scared you wouldn't be finished before the end? I never doubted it. Not so special that they couldn't make something scary enough for me to be its pilot. Humans are culture, and culture is gravity. A ship self is a skin, but a ship self is also a heart. The plastic and metal chassis, insulated against hard vacuum, is necessary to not die. The tidal reactor, which generates the gravity and culture necessary to keep humans solid and real so far from Earth, is necessary to live. The dual tidal reactor resonance system installed in the Krun macula then might be capable of a sort of birth. The Krun macula was completed on the inner pseudo-planet Hades, on the boundary between the solar system ruled by human gravity and that which isn't. When the system is activated, cosmic dust emanating from between the ship's elf's palms is crushed in the friction of the competing forces of the Krun macula's dual tidal reactors and ignites in the birth of a tiny star. It's a start, an anchor of gravity and culture, for humans to begin colonizing the stars, the seed of possibility, and, just as easily, the seed of the inversion of possibility. Stars go supernova and become black holes, where the information of life, culture, is deleted. But they aren't afraid of Krun macula as much as they're afraid of Pluto. Her own tidal forces destroyed the first 17 prototypes. It's the girl with the love to be the mother of stars they're afraid of. Don't build me up like that. I'm not that special. But I am that scary. I'm used to it. The only thing I just can't get over is how unfair it all feels. Knowing how bad this could get, how wrong it could go, and it's still happening anyway. The Krun macula is bigger than the other ship's elves in terms of its objective gravitational impression on space-time. Yeah, I'm feeling everything at once. But I'm feeling big, too. Feeling so big. I can feel it. Far and away. The sword of the real, Mercrisium, come to cut our dreams down. And the toxin of the inverse, string of pearls, come to turn the earth inside out. They're incredible girls, I can tell. But now Cradle's Graces has the power to fight back and keep space our home forever. I know I meant to do this. I've been trained my whole life to be the one in a million pilot who can do this. I know I want to do this. Space is the only place where everyone can be happy. Even if almost no one believes it, I want to keep it safe. I need. I know what I need to do. I know that I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. Now I just have to do it. That's nothing compared to what it took to learn how. My body, my mind, my soul, they're all in order. I just have to do it. It's January 1st, 1980, and the long and cold war, where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against the existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That's a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? When there's enough of a mess down there to worry about. Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, the Memorial Foundation, Native Sphere, Existential Safety, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. The Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation, Native Sphere, Existential Safety. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world, free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our cradle's graces, but we're not coming back. Independence Declaration from Cradle's Graces. It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat, and when they do, they'll send real weapons and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human. Just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship's elf string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of the planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much more than 100% we can get. Internal report, celestial mechanics. Give me 2 seconds. I want to check something. No. That's the wrong button. We have Cradle's Graces. We have Memorial Foundation. We will have to take celestial mechanics. Day 1. Ooh, I like that everything is a much different color grading. Like, this is a lot more like Cyberpunk. This was before Cyberpunk, I'm pretty... You know what? Let me check. Yeah, this was 2-3 years before Cyberpunk came out. So, like, who knows? I'm just saying. Mail and alerts. Unacceptable. Cradle's Graces Formation Archives from Executive Director Dr. Nix. The funding is being cut again. They aren't getting the results they want. They think it's indulgent. They don't care how much the kids feel. It warms their hearts to see them grow unimpeded by the gravity of Earth, but it also disturbs them. Sorry. They love our beautiful, free, glittering children, but when we talk about bringing Earth's children here, they look away. The children of space are not bound by the same laws of gravity, and do as they like with our bodies and souls. You have insisted that they can endure the gravitational forces of Earth. But have you considered that their tidal forces do not wish to accommodate them? They will be smoothed back again, or broken at the very least. They'll never stop trying to destroy them. We have created magnificent, delicate creatures, and Earth wants them back for what? To crush them again under their own tidal forces? Subject: who is this? Origin: ambient title information. Author: a love story. I like that we're already getting Lunaterra hearing other people through her ship's elf, which would be, this would be closer to an alert than a mail. This would be an alert from her ship's elf reaching out, because it just seems to passively do that. The Kryn Makula is just able to, that is its thing, maybe. And it's able to, like, find, like, say someone sends a message out, able to just pick that up, just check it out, like, new thread, who this, you know? I don't know who I'm sending this to, but I think about you all the time. In the back of my mind, I know a lot about you. Does that mean you know about me, too? Or are you just glowing brightly in a way that I don't understand? Is anyone else seeing this? Do you get messages like this all the time? Are you aware of how much you loom in the heart of someone you haven't met? What I am expecting, I don't even know. This is really awkward. Sorry for doing this. It must really be hard. No, I can't really know that. This is delusional of me. I'm gonna make it stop, because if I don't, I'm gonna come to hate you. Because I'm already so frustrated I'm nothing like you. I need to understand why I tear myself apart thinking of you. I'm not going to send this. I don't know how to send this. I hope you never read it. Oof. I still can't believe it. I felt that from here. Yeah? Yeah? What was it like? It was incredible. For a moment, I felt like I was right next to you. It was even stronger than all the times you tested the prototypes. Stronger than the one time they let you fight before. It's amazing. I've been training so long, I never knew how different it would feel to have my own perfectly suited, just for me ship's elf. Gonna get extra mad at all of you for how long you left me behind. Is it really safe, though? Mars. Don't start. I'll get mad. Wait, DM's open for fight requests. That goes hard. It's just more powerful than anything that's ever been developed. I don't like that Dr. Nyx is making you do something untested all by yourself. No one person should have to do all the things that your unit is expected to do. But I'm strong enough to do it, right? Powerful enough to stop Earth from taking us back? Strong enough to stop celestial mechanics from bringing the existential threat back? I can do it, right? I mean, of course you can. No one else could, but that doesn't mean you should do it alone. I'm not alone. I've got you. And everyone else. We're all together. That's what we wanted, wasn't it? I'm not locked up in a lab anymore. Aren't you happy for me? I am happy for you. Are you really, really happy for me? I'm super happy for you. I really am. Are you scared of me now? No way, never. You're not something to be afraid of. Oh, but that's wrong. You should be scared. I'm incredible. Channel closed. Whoops. Alright, retrograde in retrograde. Wait. Chasing after the string of pearls, Lunaterra and Pluto find each other instead. It's been almost a year since they last saw each other, and Lunaterra's never seen Pluto like this. Are you ready to spin backwards? Hell yeah, I am. Mars, are you okay? You look like someone punched you in the face. What happened? Someone punched me in the face? It's been so long since you got in a fight with the flight crew. Feels a little nostalgic. I'm fine, by the way. People who start fights don't get sympathy. They started it when they wouldn't let me fly. And who threw the first punch? That part doesn't matter. And if they don't let me go, then you'll have to fight the traitor all by yours. Shit. Oh. Why didn't I feel it earlier? Of course she's here. Wasn't that I wasn't gonna tell ya. Memorial Foundation also knows about the prototype, and they sent their ace to get it. No, I understand. You were so excited, you just had to run and see her, huh? You got that right! Run out and punch that traitor Lunatera in the face as hard as I can! Aww. She's the worst! After pretending that she was gonna fight for the colonies, even after Earth abandoned us and demanded we come home, she double-crossed us. We're gonna do this together. I've missed punching that insufferably smug face for a year. It's finally time to show her that we're not going to forgive her for betraying us at the worst moment, leaving us alone, barely able to keep fighting as Cradle's graces. But it's not like we never needed her, and I know. I miss her too. You're not. Are you not listening to me? I've been listening to the two of you say the same things about each other for a really long time, and it doesn't sound any different. It is nothing like it was before. I'm not playing games. When we were in the academy, you were always chasing after her. You'd swing the first punch, and she'd laugh, and you two would fight, and you'd make out, and you'd do it all over again. I miss it so much, but if you go after her, it'll happen just like that all over again. Stop talking about me like I'm that predictable. It's different now. Orders are orders for a reason, you know. I'm still not okay with it. They're making you use that terrifying machine. It's way too dangerous. You look like someone punched you in the face. What happens? Someone punched me in the face. Pilot to ship self. I threw up. I'm sorry, I really am. But Mars, if it makes you feel any better? Well, you're breaking up? I can't wait to fight her. I love her, understand her, and forgive her. But I'm still mad. How come you both get to have all the fun? Who wants to stay home while you two get to fight and make out? You don't know how scary this machine is, Mars, and it's so much less scary than me. I don't want you to see me like that, but I really, really want Lunatera to see. Pluto, you cut out for a second there. What'd you say? I said tough luck. It's my chance to shine now. These girls are all the best. Hang on. Like waking up underwater to the wet burn on your lungs' desperation for air. Like floating untethered in space, unable to move under your own power. Losing the security of gravity is like being naked in space. Gravity is necessary for human life in space. Gravity is necessary for unrestricted movement in space. Can't have one without the other. The force that binds your existence together. The force to shape foreign bodies. Pure agency. Gravity is necessary not just to live in space, but to be human in space. But being human is a little harder for Pluto, so she has to work for it. The tidal forces of her spacefaring body, the Kryn Makla, are as strong as she believes. And as weak as she feels. Howdy, Just Princess Peach, how you doing? And Lunatera needs to make sure all the calculations are in order. Everything in her ship operates manually. She's just been at it long enough that it feels like a second skin. The jolt of nostalgia interrupts Lunatera's mental math. She forgets to carry the one. It interrupts Pluto's focus, and she has a moment where she's not invincible. Close enough to touch the surface of the Moon Lab, Lunatera is seen and known by Pluto, and they are suddenly falling down in the well of too late and nothing you can do. I knew it! Warning, gravitational interference. It's important to get a grip. Knowing there's nothing you can do is something Pluto considers freeing and Lunatera considers exciting. Feeling doomed is clear permission to do whatever. As soon as Mericrisium is through the cloud cover, she fires solid light into the remains of the Celestial Mechanics lab and chases it through the wound. The lab was recently damaged by the illegal launch of a hijacked ship, but that damage is barely noticeable compared to the massive hole left by a much larger ship crashing through. Lunaterra acts fast under pressure. If there's no point in hiding, there's no point in stopping. It's true. Lunaterra is living on the whim of the Krunmakla, which can probably do whatever to her at any time. If she can't run away, she wants to make the first move. It's the sort of thing that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and no sense at all if you think a little more. But that's Lunaterra, isn't it? She's betting that you don't think too much, or not enough. Or that you'll think too much, or not enough. Against Pluto, is that really such a good idea? She's someone who always thinks just enough. Which makes it easy for Lunaterra to slip through, deep in the lab, until it gets quiet except for the sounds of the moon quaking and trembling. After almost a year, the dread and the thrill is way too much to slow down and start talking. That's what the arrow flying into Pluto's gravity well is saying. Who will make the first move? When Lunaterra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming out because of the I'm gonna do this whole thing again. When Lunaterra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound because the Krunmakla is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides. Hi Mecha, how you doing? That's not something that's impossible or anything. It's just something that's only possible in theory, which is still terrifying. More terrifying. And more terrifying than that power is Pluto's finesse. And more terrifying than the finesse is her gentleness, spooling matter like thread in the tiny galaxy of which she is the sun. Her power is very kind, but also a little perverse. What meaning does mercy have from something that can core out a moon? Pretty good, been absorbed in Xenoblade Chronicles X? Fuck yeah. I hope you've been attacking and dethroning God. Also, have you gotten your mech yet? I have one friend who has gotten to her mech. I have not played Xenoblade Chronicles X since it released on the Wii U at a friend's place. But when I played Rule, did not get to the mech, not at all. But it was sick. I loved that game. I'm so happy it's out of Wii U jail, and I'm kind of sad that my Switch is kind of in the shitter right now. Krunmakla's developers compared it to a black hole. They wanted a machine so powerful and absolute, even light couldn't escape it. Lunaterra understands now that was wrong. She's a star, gushing and twinkling with matter and light. Who wouldn't be swept up in that? The Mericrisium is so small. Pluto's never seen it from a perspective like Krunmakla's before. She never imagined it would look so fragile from there, like a toy version of the fierce fighter she remembered. Pluto's sense of scale is true. Lunaterra feels just like a plastic toy, too. Come on, say something. It's making me sad. It really does fit you. So much more than I ever thought. Is it hard to look away? Being able to render you speechless is the power I've always dreamed of. What do you think? I know just a look won't change your mind, but I want you to tell me. Tell you what? That I regret betraying you? I told you then that I always would. No! I won't let you do that, Lunati. Do you think I'd be mad? I mean, of course I'm mad at you, but not for anything you did to me. I wouldn't ever be mad at you for not having enough faith in me to see through Cradle's Grace's dream of a new home for humans in space. I'm just mad at you for not having enough faith in yourself to see it through and leaving all the work to me. Oops. Guess that is why I'm a little upset with you. Not mad, you know. Just disappointed. I can't believe I'm still the one scolding you like a kid. I'm trying to be a grown-up, you know. I did the responsible thing. I took the realistic option. I'm here to play the part of the boring adult, the grown-up villain. Oh, that's right. I remembered why I actually am mad at you. You better not go down quietly. You better really believe what you just said. I'll forgive you if you left us for something stupid, but I'll never forgive you if you left us for something you don't believe in. And you better not believe in it, because I also won't forgive you for fighting for a future that cruel. That doesn't leave me a lot of options. I don't think I can fight against that. Don't you dare. I won't forgive that either. Were you hoping, maybe, that it wouldn't be like this? That I wouldn't have to fight? It'll change ya. In ways you don't understand. I've seen you fight so many times. I saw when you got that scar and your poor ship got her wound. Has anyone else ever seen that side of you as much as me? I don't think so. Not even your Oppa. But it's different when you're on the other side. You think I don't really know you? Because I've never stared down the barrel of your rifle or felt that knife nick my ship? It's a different kind of knowing. Teach me then. Or I'll teach you. Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out. We would never go Memorial Foundation, so we'll school Lunaterra. Because A, it's in character for PLUTO, but B, we don't have an option for the route that I actually want to do. It just occurred to me that this might be a mechanical send-up of choosing one or the other of three in We Know the Devil. I wonder offhand if that is a deliberate thing. Whereas, like, instead of there can only be two because there can only be two for, frankly, whatever reason, there could only be two here due to distance, due to a fight of gravity and a fight of culture. Mostly gravity. But, like, due to the distance, the vast emptiness of space, like, Saturn's gonna be in a completely different place than Pluto and Lunaterra. And I'm thinking, like, it might be deliberate, it might not be. And what I would wait on is if they make another game in this universe. Either way, Lunaterra gets schooled. One, thankful for our cradle's graces, but we aren't coming back. That would make a badass tattoo. That'd make a badass tattoo if you ever had to move countries. As soon as Pluto blinks, that's the moment Mare Crisium attacks. A little out of fear, mostly out of awe. I know we haven't seen a few of the Memorial Foundation scenes, at least the one on Ares, and at the Lagrange colony, and on the moon. No, we did Cradle's Grace, or we did Memorial Foundation. That was our first playthrough. When I played Saturn, we did Memorial Foundation as much as possible. I'll be real when it comes to VNs. I play them until I reach what I will consider a real ending. Saw the ending, I mean. Lunaterra and Pluto scene. We saw the ending, I mean. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, noted. Yeah, no, if I wasn't going for something specific, I'd probably just do what I think would be accurate. But, like, We Know the Devil takes, like, 3 hours to run through per run. So I didn't mind, like, just being like, okay, I'll do this run, and then I'll cut it off, and then I'll do the next one next week, and then I'll do the next one next week, and then the true ending. But that's also because the choices were pretty easy to know. With a VN like this, there is so much more. I feel like I'm just not gonna see it all. And that's fine. Hear me out. As the streamer, I do want you guys to pick this game up and play it. I do want y'all to, like, buy it, play it, enjoy it, talk about it. So, like, I mean, it works out. And I know some people are like, oh, I fucking love this entire studio's output. Like, that's what some of y'all are here for sure. But, you know, you could always save before choices, but it's fine if you play through it how you want. I would really recommend the Lagrange Colony Memorial Foundation scene. Is that something I'll be able to do as Pluto? Because I wouldn't mind just picking one for funsies. As soon as Pluto blinks, that's the moment Mercurium attacks, a little out of fear, mostly out of awe. It's a confused move, the first move, which is so unlike her. So unlike her that it nearly takes the Krunmakla by surprise. All matter parts along the vectors of inertia that Pluto has set, but these bullets stubbornly curve, bury into her flank, and sting with a sharp and subtle gravity of their own. As Pluto or Lunaterra, okay, so hear me out. Remind me. If that's a scene you think I should see and it's something we can do tonight, tell me. Deadass. Ow. It kind of stings, Lunati. Stop doing things like that. Lunaterra is crushed instantly and she's dead. No, Lunaterra dodged at the last second. No, the Mercurium is torn apart from every joint. No, Lunaterra is safe, at home. She never left. No problem? Hell yeah. Full disclosure, I don't usually allow backseating, but for me, I will forget about that. You will remember it because it's something you want to see. So I can just click that, because it's also literally as easy as clicking a button when we get to a scene that we will get to. Gotta BRB again. Forgot I had a haircut today. Have a great stream, though. You have a good haircut. Take care. And I hope it's safe out there. No, Lunaterra is safe at home. She never left. No, Lunaterra hasn't moved, and it's only because she can't bring herself to. Lunaterra is feeling ghosts of the space-times that Pluto has cut off, escape routes she rushed for but don't exist. Lunaterra is trying to think of something to say. She really is, but it's impossible because Krunmakla is the size of the universe. Her seeping nebula grows with the promise to swallow up the space station, Lunaterra, and the whole solar system. That's not the way, Lunati. You have to come for me like you really mean it, or that's what's gonna happen. Mercurium's engines spin in our response. Lunaterra's mind is racing, but there's no thought she can hold on to, except for how disappointed and sad Pluto is. If you just give me one moment, you'll pass my event horizon, and you'll never escape. Always getting closer, but never getting there. Falling forever. If you don't figure out how to unstick yourself, I might leave you there. Remember for next time, okay? Don't keep breaking my heart. The Mercurium plummets, and the Krunmakla rises up, exiting the moon like a shooting star, tearing the lab up into space with her. Day 2. Yeah, I love this. I love this so much. Just how this screen looks with the new color palette. It is muy bueno. I wish you didn't have to do this. But I love chatting with you. Especially about your latest sordid affairs. Well, thanks. But that's not what I meant. And sordid? Dramatic. Tempestuous? Explosive? No. Problematic? No! Tumultuous. That's sexier. But that's still bad. I mean, how would you describe them? Not like that. Intense or something. The last one was really good until the end. Should I be more generous? Well, it'd be nice. But you're not very good at relationships. Kill me. It's kind of cute. You love people so much that you forget about them completely. Your honesty really hurts sometimes, you know? You fall for glittering, faraway girls, but what you really need is someone who doesn't put up with you. There's gotta be someone, somewhere, who won't let you get away with anything. I believe in you! I'm trying to save the world. I don't really have time for this. But you're not too busy to keep flirting. Pluto, God! Sorry, baby, no mercy for you. Ugh. It's out of love. One day you're gonna be as good as at treating girls as you are at piloting. Don't twist the knife! Sorry! It's fine, I know I'm not great at it. Hey. You did that thing again. Hmm? What thing? You know that thing. Where you change the topic, and I forget what I wanted to talk to you about, so you don't have to answer? Except I have a chat log and I can scroll back and see? It's sweet you wish I didn't have to fight. See, you do remember. You remember better than I do. But why don't we leave it at that? Why? Because there's nothing we can do about it. We could find a way. I don't want you to... I don't want you to do this if you don't have to. Chat? No, I mean fight. You just did it again. She is gaslighting. She is gatekeeping. She is girl bossing. She's still a goddamn planet, but frankly, she's the goddamn solar system. Because she's my whole world. Subject regarding Mecha 2 Krunmakla, Origin Ship Self-Development Documentation. Author, Operations Decommissioned Cherry Europa. It was commissioned before it even had a pilot, before the technology for piloting had been developed, before the technology of its workings had been developed. I think we recognized that the construction was an act of faith. Nyx's directive was to create the sort of self we wished to see. I think, of course, that was the moment that it was clear to me that Nyx was fighting for something she believed humans could be, not who humans were. I think at the time I didn't understand the difference, or what Nyx may not consider important because of her tendency to think this way. Many of the functions of the Krunmakla have not been invented yet. It is limitlessly expandable. I have, of course, requested for it to be decommissioned, but I believe ultimately you'll want to scrap it. If this committee has indeed found something in space worth salvaging, I would have to wonder against the committee's intentions and their curiosity towards the last fragment. The end results of the Krunmakla's functions are indistinguishable from Nyx's dream, so there's no briefing I can provide that will be more comprehensive than the ones you receive from Nyx herself. I can only speculate on which she has or has not been able to implement successfully. As terrifying as the Krunmakla is, the pilot Dr. Nyx has found for it is more terrifying by far. They may find a way to make it move even yet. Subject, Title Theory and Celestial Mechanics. Origin, General Information Record Pull. Author, Director of Celestial Mechanics, Iapetus. Let's begin by imagining... Hang on. Alright, I can do this. Let us begin with imagining an inert theoretical mass of matter, equivalent physically in all ways to the third body of this solar system, a theoretical planet Terra, absent of human culture. How would we model the physical properties of such a planet, where Jungian Newtonian models do not apply? The soft science of celestial mechanics is not purely a thought exercise, but an inquiry into what, if any, default physical properties could exist in the universe without influence of culture. Drink the water. Hey, Phoebe, how you doing? How's the best damn slime girl in the Great White North doing? Eh. Sorry, that was because I was wiping my mouth off and there was grunge. Like, okay, this is gonna be a little gross, but I want to make sure I'm not the crazy one on this. Y'all ever go to, like, wipe off your mouth, and because you had chapped lips and got hydrated afterwards, there's, like, the dead skin is now soft again? And it's just gross? That's what happened to me. I had pizza as a treat. It was nice. Oh, fuck, what kind? Because of its potential application in space colonization, for its use in modeling the physics of foreign celestial bodies and the utility of the concept of terra in the philosophical hard sciences, for more than precisely defining Earth as the lands of human domination rather than a specific physical body. Celestial mechanics has been integrated as a branch of contemporary metacultural general relativity. What would it be like to imagine a world in which humans have one-to-one dominion over real phenomena? In such a word, we might think of gravity in multiple senses, since the agency of humanity is over each other mentally, spiritually, and culturally would not be the same as physically. The conversion of matter into energy, and energy into culture, and culture back to matter again, is completed by distortions caused by culture's ability to arbitrarily set conversion parameters. This is caused not because of the power of human gravity, but actually by its weakness and incompleteness. In a theoretical universe in which humanity has full dominion over the physical universe, the influence of culture would be a one-to-one constant, and the physical universe would abide by inflexible, fundamental laws. In such a world, we would have to separate fields of study that involve metaphors from ones that describe worldly phenomena, because our world would be objectively determined, while humans would be able to disagree and defy each other. They would ascribe to an inflexible, perfect system as decided by humanity. Basic pepperoni, but you dip the crust in spicy mayo. I love doing that. Yes, you hate that? Okay, thank God. Because I thought I was the crazy one. Because, like, on the side, I've been using Mio Energy instead of energy drinks, largely because it's cheaper overall. It also means I'm drinking more water. Yes, it's a diuretic because it has caffeine, but at least it is majority water. You know? Now you got the mech, let's go. Make your ship self. Mio also tastes good as fuck. I got this acai berry flavor that's like really fucking good. I like putting in a little too much, where it becomes bitter at the end. It's nice. There's something about the berry being like sharp afterwards. It's like I'm eating poison, but like safely. You know what I mean? Saturn Return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after? And will they get it? Pluto, why are you suiting up? The Celestial Mechanics lab was wrecked and the prototype escaped. We should be heading back to the inner solar system. She's still here. Who? Some incredibly ridiculous, utterly irresponsible, dangerously devious brat. I'm not who you're talking about, right? Oh, don't be silly. You're not devious at all. Then who? Also, hey! They're being very tricky, so I can't quite tell. But I have rough coordinates. They slip between the cracks of the universe, play fast and loose with the laws of physics, staying hidden and out of sight, but being really smug about it. I think they're showing off. So it couldn't be anyone but the pilot of Celestial Mechanics' prototype, right? Why? That's stupid. What sort of pilot would be that irresponsible with a prototype? Hey, Mars. When you were in the academy, how many prototype units did you rack? Let's not talk about that now. I'm just saying, Mars. You're much better behaved now. If the intel is true, their prototype's really powerful, even against you. I know. I might not be able to stop her. This location is the experimental lab. It was shut down right before Earth canceled the space program. I don't like this place, Pluto. It's like they shut down Daphnis Lab and converted it to the perfect site for an ambush. Really? It's too much for me. Well, it's stronger than the fleet I destroyed. I mean, I'm not saying you're not strong enough. But a stealth mission against a secret weapon is different. No one knows what Celestial Mechanics is planning, but it's always awful. It's definitely a trap. This mission to the outer planets is only to destroy Celestial Mechanics' labs and prevent Memorial Foundation from recovering the prototype. Mars, if you keep trying to protect me, I'll get mad. But I'm... let me have the tiniest bit of fun. I'll be fine. After all, I have a lot of experience correcting unruly show-offs who act out for attention. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait, Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto, and that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if this was a good idea. Where what was a good idea? Saturn doesn't have any ideas. She's just trying to hide, even though there's no place where you could possibly be felt, where you could not be felt by me. Alert! Tidal resonance. IFF confirms enemy. Warning. Gravitational hazard. Danger. Pressure exceeding safe range. I know, it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive. Small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of a pin. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful, the interior of her cockpit creaked with pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool. She must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me? No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, it'd be really funny if she was in that monster. Oh, now someone's laughing at Saturn. Hey! Now I know someone's here. I can feel you listening, but I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. Alright, hear me out. Narrow escape. Betray. Opening futures, closing pasts. It's easiest not to get caught if you don't care about catching anything. It's just about knowing there isn't a difference. And focusing deeper. And focusing deeper. The real celestial mechanics, the interactions of bodies in space via the forces of gravity, the weight of mass and culture, explained by the story behind them. That's just science. With your own gravity, reach out and pull. Good girl. You know just what to do. And you like what you caught? The Macula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits into the lab complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Massive enough to warp local spacetimes, humming and vibrating with nebula dust, and absolutely, effortlessly gentle. Without Pluto's most delicate touch, the Macula would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. How much do you trust it? I knew you'd be right behind me or something. If you did, how come you're not facing this way? I'm an idiot, I guess? You've come a long way just to be an idiot. You must know exactly what this ship can do, right? Did you come to fight me on purpose? That's really brave. And really cute. If you can touch me, I can touch you. So I'm not getting close. You came all this way not even to fight? Oh, that's not cute at all. But it's smart. Oh, I get this game? Yeah? Do you have opinions? I would like to hear the Iris take. I would like to hear the Iris take. Aw, that's not cute at all. But it's smart. Hey, don't underestimate me. I'm scary. You think? Maybe I believe you. Cute things can also be scary. But I'm curious now. I was worried you were going to waste your chance, smug in your new machine, but you're pretty clever. You're gonna talk? Without fighting? If you're good. Otherwise, I'll bite. So, what did you want to talk about? As Cradle's Grace's glittering psychic death machine, you'll definitely have more important things to do than get out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they? Hope you don't mind falling for this trap. Trap? You? Silly, I know you're more important than that. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet? I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too. I am absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it. I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But I did want to know the biggest overachiever of my junior... Hang on. But I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl. There's a big cosmic thing in space and it's girl. Yeah. No. It's girls. If you really remembered me, you'd remember I wasn't ever good. I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad. Do you know what you're doing? With that machine that's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does? I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna come stop me then? But you don't wanna. Hey, stop. Don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of us came out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they have any use at all. I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant and gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. I might still make you regret it. Winning isn't my most important task, and it's not yours either. Are you so sure about that? I'm not the one I'm worried about. You're not the one I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now? Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's the name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries. But like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow like nothing else does, Cradle's Graces is dug in, and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked. The terraforming engines are broken. The gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This place doesn't even exist. It's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship elves can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation NSES fleet already did. That's why barely any of us left. And why we can't get them out. What, why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots just to fucking die on a rock? What do you think we're doing this for? External communications sent on August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know it's doomed. Or we know we're doomed. The planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life. And life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It's really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything and then it'll be done. Then it'll all be true. And even about what's human and what's not. They don't have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted to the earth is, in fact, not human. That's a pretty usual thing for humans to do. No difference of any of us, no differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just all be aliens, and then we'll send the real military, and then they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here, for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communications sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Grace's Irregulars. It's morning on Ares, but what's time in space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled, the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars, where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering. Hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen... And make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But me? I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space it's ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock. But the best we could ever have hoped was for Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. That what they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communications found January 26, 1981 by a celestial mechanics researcher. Day 3. All missions on Cronus orbit completed. Maiden flight and testing of Chromakla is done. Report received. Waiting new directives. I'm heading back to Ares, of course. It's the home of Cradle's Graces, after all. We have to finish up the last touches on Chromakla and prepare for the last battle on Earth's moon. Celestial mechanics will regroup and refuel there. Maybe we can nip them in the bud. A Memorial Foundation's been fighting us there since the conflict began, and maybe this time we can push him back. Send a message to everyone, time to come home, so we can be ready for the journey, ready for launch. Yeah, Cradle's Graces, 12%, Memorial 0, Celestial Mechanics 25. Sounds about right. Are you scared? Yeah. You? Yeah. But I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to what we could be. Hey, Pluto. How can you be sure? Sure. About what? Sure about... anything? Everything is so frustrating, pointless, and doomed. No matter how hard I fight, it always stays that way. So how can you be sure it's not something to be that way someday? Wait. So how can you be sure it's not going to be that way someday? You're the person I want to ask that. Because you fight every day like you're not thinking about those things. What's that gotta mean? I've gotta fight. That's what we have to. Of course I'm still thinking about those things, even when I'm fighting. Sorry, Mars. Of course you do. Everyone has doubts like that. Even me then, right? But it doesn't feel like you do. I mean, you make it seem like everything's gonna be alright. But you just do what you have to without even worrying about it. Without even worrying about whether it's right or not. Or if it'll come to anything or not. You're a genius, you know? You're smarter than me. It's not true. I just have to stop thinking if I want to do whatever it is that needs doing. I put myself on pause. Don't you? I feel Mars really deeply, and I don't know how to feel about that. Maybe that's why I'm still so scared. Oh, god damn it. I did that all in the wrong order. Hang on. I was crushing a bottle. And then I'll put this one... just crack it open. You literally never know when you need a water. Subject, pilot interfacing, origin direct message from Mars. Okay, well, so the very first thing you need to learn about pilot interfacing is that it's the most important part of piloting. You don't really have to know any of this stuff, but since you asked, I'll give you the basic rundown. There are actually a few ways it's useful to know, even if it's basically just to explain why no one can do anything to stop you because of the completely unfair bullshit you have. Any given ship self may have a variety of prescribed functions, you know. That's that's called the machine's intent. It's not that the machine has consciousness, even if it seems like it does. It's just a projection and inaccurate metaphor. It's personalization, that's what it is. Even if you're using a made-to-order ship for you alone, or customizing it for that purpose, you still have to bring your intentions in line with the crafts. That's what interfacing really means. That's why interfacing is more important, why it is the more important part of piloting, and why basically the only thing R&D crews do is find better ways to reduce the lag. Subject White Void, Origin Title Mechanics Research Archives from Dr. Nix. I was gonna say this'll be long. Nix does not understand the soul of wit. No brevity. I wish I had Vine Booms, because that means I could just hit you with the no brevity? Boom. The fearful power of it is evident. So much so that I hesitate to even criticize it. It is the nature of the tyrant theory that is fed by all of these things. Sorry. It is the nature of the tyrant theory that it is fed by all things, including attempts to dismantle it. It can simply assimilate those theories and absolve itself of potential guilt and rhetorical weakness by assuming new forms, because it has no inherent premises that is not fungible, but the impulse to make all else part of it. Far from expanding to incorporate diverse and contradictory ideas into itself, the theory would remove alternate quantum states until finding a solution that would incorporate perfectly in line with the unified culture theory. This is a necessary and inherent step, because in order to prevent any given feature of such to a theoretical culture to be subject to aversion, the gravitational pull of the culture must be so great that no information about it can escape. As the theory accumulates culture, through culture mass energy conversion, its gravity would steadily begin to grow, and its energy decrease, until it began to continuously collapse into a single coordinate, and no distinguishing information would be able to escape. The interplay of variant states is necessary for culture to create and change, and this unified field culture would be unable to do so. It would only be able to assimilate and devour. Such a theory would not redefine hierarchy, but enshrine it forever. Far from a compassionate future of humanity, it would necessitate the complete removal of human variance. All humanity and all existence would revolve around a singularity of the unified field culture. The tyrant theory, a white void, a single conqueror thought at the center of the universe. Oh, a single conqueror thought. Hyphenated double word. Alright. What do we got? Deep dive. I think this was what Peach was talking about. After her maiden voyage, Cradle's Graces is testing the finishing touches of the terrifying Krunmakla prototype. It's a chance for Lunaterra to defeat their trump card. But will she close the rift between them instead, or only widen it deeper? Recalibrating. How's the stability? Remember to keep the left side balanced. It's fine, Mars. You don't have to fuss so much. There's just no reason to take a test flight without escorts. Especially with Memorial Foundation patrolling the area. Mars! They really could be doing anything at all more useful. The ship doesn't need protection from anything, even if we're exposing the cores for testing. This was one of them, but the next day is the Lagrange one. Which choice do I make then? Because this isn't gonna be towards... Only Saturn scenes are ones I really care about as far as, like, what I choose. So, like, if y'all want to see a specific scene, let me know. I'm mostly trying to, like, balance them out as best I can. But, like, is there a choice I have to make here, or is this the scene that you were talking about? This ship doesn't need protection from anything, even if we're exposing the cores for testing. And you know I hate being treated like a princess. If you choose Memorial Foundation here, it will be a new scene. The other one we saw on the Lunaterra route. Thank you. And you know I hate being treated like a princess. But you are important and your ship is too. It's not fussy and annoying to be looking out. It is too annoying. I'll be annoyed by whatever I want. Stop being jealous. I'm not looking for an excuse to bump into Luna T. I never said that. Listen to Dr. Nix for once, even if you won't listen to me. Look, I'm not escorting you. You win, okay? But please, just be careful. I know you think I treat you like glass, but I really... What's so funny? Why are you laughing? Sorry. It's just hard for me to say that when you're such a dork. And you care so much. Even if you're non-apologizing and still want so bad to be a knight in shining armor. You're the only one I can still be such a petulant kid in front of. Instead of the princess everyone loves. Pluto. Wait, you're just being a brat for fun? I'm mad now. Everyone gets to be, especially you. Stop making fun of me. Remember when in the academy, when people asked you where I was, they'd say, "Hey Mars, where's your..." Okay, yes, launch permission's cleared. You are cleared for takeoff. Make up and forget. Never forgotten, every story told. The balance shifts because Lunaterra didn't hesitate, and neither did Pluto. Fourth planet from the sun, Ares, romantic red planet. It was the first planet the space colonization program wanted to make ours, and they wanted it to be so beautiful. Did they get their wish? It was a beautiful dream, but still a dream. By the time Earth had demanded the space program pull back, they were stuck, still halfway there after so many years, yet getting halfway there got them something beautiful, even if it wasn't enough. Where life grows, and it couldn't grow most places. It's in a spring yellow-green that could never quite get to summer. Tenacious weeds spread all over the planet that will never be called Mars, and even then, they barely breathe. Only stubbornness keeps life on Ares, and they would not even be able to endure if Cradle's Graces didn't patiently tend to them. They spew pollen uselessly into the air, and between them and the too thin atmosphere, breathing, and where it's possible, is hard. The fate of the fourth planet from the sun, even prettier now, and just as useless to humans. Pluto has flown past the canyon she's concealed in 3 times already. It's been a perfect shot every time. At noon, even with the sun shining directly on her, the flowers and weeds and their pollen keep her hidden. Should Lunaterra squeeze the trigger or not? What else is Lunaterra supposed to do? How can she dare to take that shot with Pluto looking so beautiful? How can she not? Why is she trembling like that? Does she know? No. Lunaterra realizes she's the one trembling. If you can stop me, I'll believe in you. I'll give up on everything. But I know you trust me too much. Pluto said that. She might not have been saying it right now, knowing that Lunaterra has the perfect shot. If you're not sure if you're right, I'll be the one to test it. I believe we can have a home in space, and there's no way to bring that back to Earth. You believe we can bring home to Earth, and there's no way to have it in space. I believe in us. We'll figure it out. Yet, it's impossible for Lunaterra to look at Pluto and the Chronmacula, big as the universe, and think it's better for her to not have that. For Lunaterra to keep thinking, I'm freeing her from something terrible and bringing her home. So Lunaterra fires. Before she has a chance to decide whether or not to fire, she pulls the trigger. Without considering or having a chance to choose one way or the other, her body seizes the opportunity, makes the decision for her. The one they agreed to, without doubt. Lunaterra will betray herself every time. Pluto's exposed left tidal reactor shudders and shakes. Oh, I should have seen that coming, shouldn't I? The resulting tidal resonance will be catastrophic unless she shuts both reactors off and reboots instantly. She does, of course, and worries about the ship and the whole world and Luna T and doesn't hesitate, even though that's clearly the plan. Even though that's clearly the plan, the minutes she'll take rebooting have her plunging into the ground and maybe too damaged to power back on. So Lunaterra dashes to catch her before that. Again, Lunaterra is the last to know. She's doing it before she decided if she should do it or not. A coward who cannot commit at heart at least commits to not committing, without thinking about how contradictory or ridiculous it is. Pluto's comms are off, so she doesn't have to yell at Lunaterra about why this is so stupid, or how she needs to grow up, or do anything but fall and be secretly happy she's still charmingly stupid. The Mercurium looks very funny, trying to catch a ship that is much bigger than her. Her engines flare, strain, and start to break, trying to slow the fall. Her wound bleeds freely. A tattered, tangled mess, falling down, too hard, crumbles in the weeds of Ares, nestles at the canyon bottom. It may not be a livable planet, but it's a soft one. It's hard to breathe for very long, but it feels nice to lie in, ship or body. Sometimes it feels like nothing could be worth giving up a ship, but this isn't so bad. Luna T? Luna T, are you awake? Yeah, everything hurts a lot. I gave you some painkillers. Do you need any more? I can't fly on them. You're not gonna fly without them either, Luna T. Your engines are melted. Oh, right. I thought I did something stupid, but I couldn't remember what it was. It was a breathtaking sequence of poor decisions. When I said I wouldn't be satisfied or forgive you until I fought you on Ares, I meant when I kicked your butt. Kicking your own butt doesn't count. As usual, sorry. Do you want me to move? Why? Do you want to get up? Waking up with my head in your lap feels like you're rewarding me for shooting you down. You can be mad if you want. That's one thing. This is another. There's nothing else to do with you. You did the right thing, or tried to, and then you did the right thing again, or tried to. You wanted to do the best thing for you and me, but you couldn't decide on what it was. There's nothing I can say to that, and it's already done, so I just lie here already. I might not get another chance, you know. You can hold so much. I'm in awe every time. You're the size of the universe. You see everything and everyone, and you hold all of it. Everyone's precious. Everything's worthy of you. I'm not. I can't. I'm small. I'm small and scared. Smaller and more scared than you. Don't say I'm not. Okay. I won't. Never again. I'm sorry. You're small. You're just you after all. You have to mean it. You're huge to me, okay? It's okay. I should be. I hear everyone and I can't ignore it. It feels like I'll die if I do. It hurts too bad. I listen to your voice more than any other. Your heart is more important to me. Isn't that proof I'm selfish too? But I'm going to fight with everything I have for those voices, even against you. I just know that no matter what, you're not gonna get what we want. But if I let myself slip, I'll trust in your future instead. I know that we can't beat Memorial Foundation, so I can't afford to blame you. I can't do anything if I can't even trust you. That's way easy. It's way easier to hate me. It's what normal people do. I love not giving you that satisfaction, Lunati. And you really should give up on me ever being satisfied with happiness just for me. Sure. I know as well as you, there's no welcome waiting for us on Earth. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know if we'll be happy here, but I couldn't live here without... Well, if you get a miracle, I won't fight that either. My heart isn't big, but if you ruin the Memorial Foundation, I'd forgive you. I mean, who wouldn't? I, too, want to be freed of Earth. to be free of 0.92 milliseconds squared forever. Are you really sure? I think even that victory will be impossible even if you win it. But wait, no, is it squared or to the power of 2, or is that the same thing? I have not taken a high school math class in at least a decade. But maybe you actually have more faith than me. I think we might even not make a happier world. But you can learn how to be happy anywhere, even Earth. On Earth, we were tied down by the weight of the world. I won't get back to that, even if I have to go back to Earth. There are 2 ways we can do that. Make a home where we set the rules. Smears per second squared. Thank you. Or bring a new law of gravity back home. If only all of us were as precious and powerful as a planet. But I can take the shape the world requires of me. If that's all we get. That's not true. For you especially, it's not true. You were the one who didn't let Earth's gravity choose your body. I wouldn't have been able to choose if you hadn't shown me. There's a victory that they can't take back from us. Rescue will be here soon. You're almost a real adult, Lunati. I wish I was as close as you. The acceleration from Earth's gravitational pull. It's mostly me just not remembering how to say math stuff. Alright, mail and alerts. Alien Phenomena in the Pilot Program. Origin, Title Mechanics Research Archives. Author, Director of Celestial Mechanics, Yapetus. Ooh boy, welcome to the Yap Sesh. The Scout program was created to be fungible with various other religions or philosophies in direct response to the immediate post-war need to address growing existential threats. As a stopgap measure, the Memorial Foundation has frustrations with indefinite extensions of scouting programs internationally, and mostly universal failure to advance beyond the need for it. The model, or more specifically the Scouts, were a victim of the space program's own success at fighting the Cold War. With support for a unified approach to space in order to prevent human cultural rivalry, the Memorial Foundation has been granted an opportunity to revise the scouting program and change the reactive war of attrition to a proactive one, and confront the existential threat directly. Yapetus can't not yap, that's true. The existential threat is the alien threat. We must think of them as one and the same. What is not known to us is the alien. The alien is defined, but that most familiar function, f times the result of x, equals that which is human that humans are not. A fascinating logical paradox of much utility in research for the thought exercise. Imagine something that humans could not imagine. Logically, you should not be able to do it. It is inherently impossible to imagine something that you have, by definition, the capabilities to imagine. And yet, this thought exercise leads us to begin defining first what is human. In other words, what is conventional, and then by the same process to imagine what is unconventional. In fact, this is the essence of conquering the unknown. Rather than allowing it Oh, I see how the sentence is. Okay. Rather than allowing it the power to rule and to safely integrate it in culture, than for it to fester in anti-culture. But it will not produce what is simply alien to us. Solving the puzzle requires us to be a part of what humanity does not wish to be. Subject, read, direct message from Mars. Fine, okay. Fine, okay. I know I don't get to the point, but I have to build up to it, okay? The contextualizing information is important, but okay, I will actually talk about it this time. Mechanical interface is how machines typically work. You're going to yell at me for not being clear if I don't say this, but I say that's when you've got physical switches and buttons and steering devices and you move them with your hands. That doesn't actually really convey it. But you do those things in your ship self, but you don't use mechanical interfacing. So, it actually matters that it is defined as exact mental instruction. It does exactly what you tell it. You can make anything you want happen you can you can make anything you want to happen, but you have to give it exact instructions. There's the physical lag between yourself and the machine, but there's also the nuanced nature of giving the instructions. That's a really hard thing to do. Obviously, most people would prefer to move a machine on raw instinct, or like part of their body. I don't think many people actually get the best results from an interface like that. Unless, yes, they're like our mutual ex. Hey, is that what you wanted to know? Do you ever miss Lunatera? What? No. In case you've forgotten, she betrayed us and went back to Memorial Foundation. I know you want her back because you're kind and forgiving, but I'm not, and I'll kick her butt if I ever see her again. But that's no different from how you two used to be. Now two only fight less now. You two... Okay. You two only fight less now, and that's the part that's sad. She always has been a smug. She was always smug, always a know-it-all, and always one step ahead. The worst senior pilot, and she didn't teach me shit! Breakups usually really do turn all your memories sour, huh? That's... Shut up. Lunatera is the only one I feel that way about. I know you pine after good girls way too much. I think dating bad people is good for you. If I have to go through that again, no thanks. The only thing I miss is the expression on her face when I got to one-up on her. Her smile, you mean? You miss it too. I do. I'm glad you can get nostalgic sometimes too. Do you miss the days of the Cold War? Fighting against the existential threat too? It was scary in a different way. It was so easy I never had to think about it. Tearing through that ephemeral light was the only sort of there. Or that was only sort of there. It was scary because we didn't know what could happen or what it was. But we didn't need to know all the answers, and we just gotta fight forever. It was fun. Until I came along. What do you mean? If you think about it, it was me, wasn't it? Before they even finished the Kronmakla, even in just the prototype. In my first provisional mission, I wiped out the enemy in the time it took to blink. And they haven't come back since. Before, it was fun for everyone. You were strong, but it was still hard. But there was no point in sending all of you out to protect Earth when it turned out the existential threat was so weak I could destroy it with the snap of a finger. That's reversing cause and effect. They just use that as an excuse to stop caring about colonization. Different, similar thing. One tends to lead to the other. Even if it was never a threat to our existence, they didn't have to give up on everything. It's not your fault. Alright, deep dive. The Oxygen Ocean serves as both a fuel yard and terraforming engine for our planet Ares, and it's the perfect hiding place for a migrating celestial mechanics fleet. But deep down, something's reaching out for him. Let me check my alignment. Oh yeah, we're getting close to CM. We're 1/4 of the way. Is she operational? Mars. All checks clear? Honey. Dual tidal resonator sync clears all checks? It's close enough to tear a moon inside out. And you're still really sure about this. Mars, I love you very much, and I'm gonna scream if you ask me one more question. What? Pluto! Sorry, I couldn't back off after saying that. My soul hurts. Why'd you do that? Because you didn't listen to me. I was listening! You didn't listen. You've got such a big heart and you don't even listen with it at all. I don't want you to go. That's better. It's what you really wanted to say. I'm glad you could say it. Hey, gang. I'm gonna be right back. My body is just like, hey. Hey, you know what you drank? 3 bottles of water. And all that other shit. I'm gonna be right back. I have to.
Alright, I'm back. Give me 2 seconds. I have to plug something in. Sorry, I am having a hell of a time finding a single cable, but I know. Oh fuck! It. I literally looked right at it. There we go. I'm sorry about that, gang. That took way longer than I meant for it to be, but then I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Where the hell did that cable go so that I can charge the fucking thing I use to keep all my peripherals alive? Because I saw it was blinking red. Or, sorry, not blinking red. I saw it was on one light, not four light. Sorry. My brain just went, oh yeah, it's on red because it has no battery. I had to find the cable for it because I would like to have my battery bank charged. In fact, yeah, it's charging. That's better. It's what you really wanted to say. I'm really glad you could say it. But you're not gonna listen to it. Nope. You could, at least, after you just said, not at all. Don't sulk. This was always the plan. We have to show everyone what this weapon can actually do. If this is just a taste, but no one's gonna respect what we do on the... This is just a taste, but no one's gonna respect what we do on the moon if we can't grab their attention first. God damn, now it's getting hot in here. Fucking hell. Trying to like get my arm out of my coat. There we go. Destroying the whole Celestial Mechanics fleet while they're docked in the Oxygen Ocean is gonna get some attention. But if I only destroy them a little bit, it'll be pretty amazing. So it's a job that's impressive. That's impossible to mess up. If you keep worrying, what else am I supposed to think except I must seem that incompetent to you? I care, okay? I'm not mad, Mars. But let me lean on you while I do this. Instead of blocking my way. Yep. Opening futures, closing paths. The balance shift because Pluto tugs and Saturn yields. The Oxygen Ocean is a peaceful place because everything about it destroys everything else. You can enjoy complete privacy under the curtain of the oxygen steam, drink all the fuel and air you want, and no vessel can survive the temperature and pressure conditions below. You can float as long as you want, or until your hull turns brittle and breaks, or your organic components oxidize and explode. Celestial Mechanics has covered their wayward pilot's machine in temporary armor layers to seal out the unknown interference of gravity and seeping oxygen. The additional temporary armor layers might not be necessary, but they also might be. The Celestial Mechanics fleet tenders
The Celestial Mechanics fleet tenders lower the string of pearls in slowly, just to make absolutely sure. Feels wonderfully cold, like a spare blanket taken from the attic in winter. Pluto's there, deep, deep down, and when Saturn slips in, she feels the ripples, as if they were in opposite ends of the same, perfectly still pool. The feeling is wonderful. Saturn's surprised that's true. How do you know that? Wait, who is you? How do I know what, Saturn? Who are you talking to? We're asking for confirmation to lower you. Yeah, I've been already. Sorry, I got distracted. You must be if you're apologizing. There's someone down here. She's speaking to me. No, she's trying to eat me alive. Or maybe it's really hard to tell the difference. Awesome. It's familiar. I'm so stoked. Take me down. The ocean boils wherever she touches it, even with the external equipment. There's no way to rely on sight, and the pragmatic influence is too erratic for sensors to process. She can only feel her way, for both of them. The cable on your left is extremely important. It's the only way we have of communicating and monitoring your situation. Uh-huh. So you'll need to be extremely careful with it. Are you listening? Yes, but not to you. Shh. There's definitely someone here. Lower me. It's reaching out. Saturn feels funny. Something's not quite right. Like something's watching her? It's like something's watching me. But it's not like someone's watching me. It's like something's watching her, but something isn't watching her. It's touching me. Something is touching Saturn. Its hands see her, and they also speak. It's saying something. The ocean ripples with boredom. It's really boring down here. But what else is Pluto going to do? Some girls get stuck with the worst jobs. But I've got to do it. With nothing to do but send insinuations through the narration. So are you coming or what? I've got her again. Tidal spike detected. Mass gravity alert. Lower me further. Saturn, we're pulling you out. Oh, not just yet. Hi, Saturn. Hi, Saturn. Hi, Mercury. Sorry, I'm borrowing her for a little bit. Saturn's cockpit floods with alarm lights of an imminent high-intensity gravity event, but it's too late. String of Pearls discharges its electromagnetic field and delicately breaks off the winch. Saturn, what are you? The string of pearls cleanly slices off the left communication wire in the pulley system. The silence of the oxygen ocean reminds her of a sensory deprivation tank. What a good girl. Hey! Don't praise me like that! I wanted to speak to you again. Damn it, I cut both wires. Even ship-to-ship comms are down. Saturn, can you hear me? Would you hear me if I spoke with this ship? It's been such a long time since anyone could hear it. Pluto's tidal reactor pulses slowly. The thrum feels like it's coming from everywhere. Oh, I get it. You want to talk with gravity? Well, I'm not some miracle child, even though they try very hard to make me as good as you. Saturn's reactor, an anxious little ball, is getting just so fed up with all this. It's frustrating to not be understood. Would you know what that's like? You don't know how much I know, but I believe in you. If Saturn moves too much, she might forget what direction up is. The sensory deprivation of the ocean takes everything away. But she has to remember that's not true. I don't believe you, but I'm trying. Oh, she's trying. Of course I'm trying. Come on. Where am I? Ugh, I hate people playing hard to get. I believe in you, but you gotta work for it. I can't do it. Sorry, but I'm cheating.
A string of pearls electrotoxin shoots through the ocean, like a bolt of lightning. It reaches out because it's attached to you. It seeks the path of least resistance, looking for something that wants to respond. But it really does. But what it really does is run along the boundaries, theoretical and real. There's a place where the boundary between one thing and another is weakest, and it runs along the boundary until it finds it. And then it connects the two. Why is she doing that? Oh, it's what you're used to. Good work at seeing weak spots. But I've got a lot. Can you find them? You can do it if you try. Maybe you just need a little push. It's not like there's nothing. Not a single... Sorry, it's like there's nothing. Not a single crack. Don't say you're not perfect. Don't make me do all the work. The pressure is overwhelming, but it's overwhelming for Pluto, too. The Chronomacula is like a little star, gushing matter and condensing it into an engine of light over and over. It was modeled after a theory of the Big Bang, after all, made in secret on the planet Hades, on the boundary between that which is human and that which is not. It's a fragile boundary. You can touch it, but be careful. This takes me back. Which is not fucking fair. What are you doing that on purpose? Always taking me to unpleasant pasts? Is it taking you back? Sorry. But we can't help it. It's the first thing beneath our surface. It's hard for me, too. I love this piece. Just like, this tells me really everything that I need to know, but it's so chicken scratch. It's so discordant. But that adds to it. The obfuscation lends to what it's like the blind seeing, you know what I mean? Like how every game, movie, TV show that depicts a blind character and has you see things, quote, from their eyes, it's that loose suggestion from the sounds. And that's what's happening in the oxygen ocean, just in a way that isn't the same. You know what I mean? It takes Saturn back to her first implant series, when they took the most special children they could find and tried to cheat them into being even more special. Bypass all the work and care that had gone into the third generation pilots and kick them directly into humanity's next stage. Cheating, you should know, felt good. It felt wrong in a good way. It feels good in a way that feels obscene. It felt bad, like she was getting more than she deserved. They chose her, but she felt like she played a trick on them. Like she lied and got candy for it. They knew that there was nothing special about her, and they gave her the most special thing. If they knew how special it was and how much she didn't earn it, they would have given it to someone else, but they didn't. Even when they threw her away, she never forgot how that felt. Why is it always like this? Oh, baby. It takes Pluto back to when she was learning how to be a person. In space, they decided that they could start over without assumptions. Humanity would be protected by the most human children they could make. No matter how badly she did, no matter how much she wasn't up to how perfect they wanted, they never gave up on her. That was the worst part. She wished so much that they would give up. It was so hard. She just wanted to be the mess she really was, and they wouldn't let her. She knew with her whole heart what she was supposed to be. She had it memorized, and she could never make it leave her body. Become the things she did and the person she was. They let her be whatever she wanted, and she wasn't strong and smart and pretty enough to be it. Both of them remember. Reaching out through the wall to the... reaching through the wall to the one on the other side. Wishing so hard to hold hands it feels like you really are. You're two pebbles dropped in a pond, but your ripples touching are enough. No one knows, and even the two of you almost don't. Never say it out loud. Never think it out loud. It sounds so sad when you try to put it like that. Why? Don't show me things that stop making me jealous. Oh, you got me. You're touching me. I can hear you through the contact link. You got me good, and that's what you have to say? You're the one who got me. You did it. You found me. You're clever. It's amazing. You don't need to flatter me. I won't feel better. I'm not. You better. I promise. Why am I so scared and you're not? That's just me. Sorry I'm like this. Well, you can flatter me a little. You're a little medium. Didn't you just say I had you? You do. You can do whatever you want now. Why'd you do this? You came after me, so it's only fair I came after you. Don't say it's only fair. Say I'm amazing and important, and you came after me specifically. You're totally not needy, huh? Give me a better answer. I want to know why it's me. I don't have one. There are so few of us left. I've got to cling to everyone. But I love that you're scared to. But I love that you're scared and you believe anyway. I think you're one of the only people who can make something change. And there's no time left. Is that a proposal? To join your side? Yeah? What if I refuse? Then give a good reason for me to join you. You're even more impulsive than me. You can start to see why I fight, can't you? The way I'm starting to see why you do? Show me something important and I'll be yours too. But you're definitely not gonna go quietly, are ya? Nope. If I let you go, will you promise not to crush yourself and me and literally everything? This time, you mean? Yeah. I think I can do that. Say hi to Mercury for me. I'll see you again soon, baby. I really like Pluto. She's just such a fun character, but she's so interesting as well. Let me just... September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed, in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange Point 5, and the front line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans adapted to fight in space, as a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for humans to live, thrive, die, and be born. With the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won this war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues, and we have dissolved into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we're supposed to have and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment, exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion of all senses in space. A ship's elf to ferry us through the world. They function only in places where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans the Earth no longer wanted flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Expansion. July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority, in the spirit of unified human peace, and the verified presence of an existential threat outside of the solar system, to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response in the existential threats. No longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere, where our gravity reigns forever, safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint, and join hands. All of Earth, finally unified, from Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth, and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven, would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really foolishly decided we could do better. That there are two errors in this approach. The first is that we do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation, as it has always been. Only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation Existential Safety. January 2nd, 1980. That's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. It was a real shame. It was a green, wet, and very peaceful place.
and now it's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space expansion, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation Service considers that a failure, but in truth, they're not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent, with human effort, what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, then we just have to make one. But of course it doesn't work like that. Nothing would be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are human, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. Iapetus, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Research. We've done everything we can for Ares, the planet that would be Mars. We won't return before too long. Wait for us, while we fight to keep you safe forever. Report received, awaiting new directives. At this time of year, we'll have to pass by the Lagrange colony on the way to the moon. It's a nostalgic place, isn't it? Let's not allow anyone to take it from us. Let's protect the memories it holds from Memorial Foundation, and take it with us to a new world we will create before celestial mechanics turns it into something ugly. Send a message to everyone. I'll take care of the past so we can seize the future. Ready for launch. Pluto? You ever think we're being too cavalier about this whole war? But it's not a war. I think a whole bunch of people fighting each other is definitely a war. I don't care if the medium of ship selves is rhetorically distinct from war, that is just a technicality. A bunch of people fighting is a war. If it's a war, it's a war, and war is bad. You're sort of the last person I expected to say something about it, though. Oop. Why? Because you love it. It's work, but you still love it. Well, it's exciting. Sorry, I'm fidgeting. I'm fidgeting with something in my hands. Well, it's exciting. You really love excitement. But it's scary, too. Why? You can't die. Only lose and try again. That's why it's not a war, just a noisy argument. But I'm mad like it's a war. A war, the other side... Sorry. But I'm mad like it's a war. I hate the other side like it's a war. If it's not a war because ship selves aren't designed with a way to kill each other, that's too fragile a reason. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I also don't want to go back to Earth. I'm not going to let them take us. If I keep feeling this way, one day, I might do something terrible for it. So I can't say I love it, when it's more complicated than that. You're right. It really is complicated. I was kind of hoping you'd have uncomplicated feelings about it, though. Why? Because I love it, and I don't feel complicated about it at all. What? You're kidding. You're always lecturing us about how fighting is bad and letting negative feelings go and how we're not going to have peace and how we're going to have peace one day. Of course I feel that way, but it's so thrilling. I was too precious to send out during the Cold War. They never let me fight like you, all of you. And I'm good at it too. Better at it than I came. But I'm good at it too. Better at it than what I came here to do. Than a lot of the actual pilots. I'm proud of that, but it's also just thrilling. It's dangerous. Maybe you can't die, but there's a lot that can happen that's painful and hard. How do you stay scared enough to feel like that? I wonder if it's just because it feels so new, or if there's something really wrong with me. I guess that's why you don't want me fighting, is it? It's complicated. I don't want you getting hurt. I don't want you to get hurt learning that. You know, Mars, this is why you're really so bad at love. won't let people. You won't let people. Oh, you won't let people you love get complicated. But it's not that you're not incredible. It isn't that you don't deserve to have fun. What if something terrible happens anyway? But what if it doesn't? If I recall correctly, it's Lunaterra and Saturn that are eventually gonna have to see that bleep bloop looking motherfucker. Oops. The fuck? Jesus Christ, I'm popular tonight. Oh. Oh, it's Pitch is sending me a meme. This is acceptable. I'm not gonna read that, but I'm less mad. Now that it's not pressing, now that it's nothing I have to get up to do. But now that I've like gotten a million texts to be like, hey, I need your help with something. Hey, do this. Hey, do this. I'm like, I'm at work. Subject, Origin, Cradle's Graces, Ship's Elf Development Archives. Author, Nyx of Cradle's Graces. Maybe as enemies, you're as hard to understand as ever, Iapetus. Maybe one day I'll be wise enough to know why you're always laughing, always smiling. If that's what you've been making on Cronus's moon, we over here don't even look half bad. I can't imagine why you'd tell me the truth. Does it really matter if you're gonna be... Does it really not matter if you're found out? Are you that confident that you don't mind bragging while you dangle this offer in front of me? Chronmacula's development is stalled, so we're desperate enough to accept your favor. God damn it. Okay. I have a weird thing to report here. Like, okay. Past handful of days. Bottom right or bottom left corner of my eye. I will occasionally see something that I swear to God is a cat. I don't hear it, I don't feel it, I don't technically see it. But like I swear I see like a tail. And I always look to my left to see what the hell it is. And it's, guess what? Fucking nothing every time. And I mean, scared isn't the word, because frankly, even if it's a ghost, it's a cat ghost. But like still. Wait. I'm just gonna reread this. Or maybe you aren't as far ahead as you're letting on. What if I just told Europa what you were up to? Just as a courtesy, of course, since there's no way she doesn't already know already. Or doesn't... Yeah, okay, already know already. You know that the Krun Macula still hasn't been completed, but you must be desperate too if you're reaching out. If you're reaching out to us. It just goes to show you, Pettis. Nothing will come of resisting Earth. I'm just doing this because I'm hopeless. What's your excuse? Think you can double-cross the universe first? Let's see you trick Europa first. Subject, the aversion impulse. From Cradle's Grace's Foundation documentation. Author, Metal Culture and Gravitational Research Chair, Dr. Nyx. Let me just do a quick mental read so I can... We talk always of the beauty of gravity, but rarely of its cruelty. A force that binds and overwhelms humans. The power brings us together, but it does not do so with kindness. Culture is power and hierarchy and force. It can crush us and tear us to pieces. It is not a unilateral force. On the contrary, gravity's structures are deliberate and intricate. Not everyone shoulders a light burden. Not everyone is able to wield the natural powers of humans with so little weight. Through gravity, humanity is ruled by its own laws. But this is not the case. Through gravity, humans are ruled by each other. Antimatter, anti-gravity, anti-culture. All exists as a resistive force to this gravity. The refusal of humanity to accept these parts of itself cause its own undoing. When we let our children develop in the lightness of space, they chose their bodies, genders, souls, hearts of their own volition. They became human in ways they wished to be human. That sounds badass. The gravitational forces are unendurable to those in space. We feel the possibilities closing off. Infinity has to become something finite eventually. That's the curse of time. Foremost of the 8 billion curses of the universe are arrayed against humanity, the last before death conquering them. In order, the Memorial Foundation's legacy and belief: every curse overcome and nothing lost. I feel a dyslexia flare up, so let me just like you have to weigh the accumulation, or the end result is a diminished humanity. You're not good at making hard choices. It's hard when you understand that you have to lose so much better than you understand that. It's hard when you understand what you have to lose so much better than you understand what you have to gain. And so, when it comes down to it, that's why we lose every single time. Only in space can we possibly be free. Look at me. The Cold War is long over, and the existential threat is gone. But its memories still stir here, at the observatory. Will it be put to rest here, or buried forever? You sure you don't want me to come? Yep. Not even a little, though? Mars, you're actually so sweet. You know that? No one is a more perfect hero. But I need to go alone. If the lens can be opened fully, I'm the only one who can do it. If it can't, I'm the only one who can survive it. If we can still justify living in space, this is the only way. Even if that doesn't change how Earth feels about us now, it might help us make peace in the future. Even if it doesn't, if I can't do this, I'll never be able to open the gravity well on the moon. I know. Lunatera's gonna stop you, though. I know she will. I was there too, you know. It's my past in history, too. I've got a score to settle. Are you feeling left out? No. I mean, sorta, but it's because... Stop! No, I'm sorry. You're the brightest, most shining. You're making fun of me again. But I'm also praising you. You're honest, and you never fight against what you feel. That's the world we want to be real. I want you to be safe, so you can keep being that. For us. This scene's amazing. Also, just another reminder about picking the Memorial Foundation option here. No problem. Although I think if I go any further for Memorial Foundation, I'm tipping the scale too hard. If that makes sense. That's the world we want to be real. I want you to be safe, so you can keep being that. For us. What about her, then? She's a jerk. We've tried so hard for her, and she doesn't even care. I'll make sure she's safe. Stop worrying. I'm not worried about her at all. Why is she such an idiot? Why do we keep trying for her sake? I go through that much for you. You'd go through it for me. I know. But why do you do so much for her when she's like that? Stubborn and ridiculous. Because we're just like that too. Whoop. The gate collapses in nostalgia and disaster. It all goes wrong almost immediately. They both have known better. The observatory looks small from the Academy Gardens, but up close, it's big enough to lose a limb or two. Wait. It all goes wrong almost immediately. They both should have known better. The observatory looks small from the Academy Gardens, but up close it's big enough to lose the two of them in. Why did I mean, I know dyslexia, but like, brain, why did I hear it's big enough to lose a limb or two? I digress. A telescope of a certain kind for observing a threat that was extremely existential and possibly not real, and maybe a weapon too. Maybe a weapon that worked so well It destroyed humanity's enemies before we could even prove they were there. Now, even the intellectual curiosity isn't worth keeping it open. There's too many enemies, real and existential, on Earth to worry about the ones elsewhere. The mission wouldn't have become such a disaster so quickly if the two of them just had fought face to face. If they hadn't been a little awkward still after Ares. If there wasn't still so much past to fight. The one known and guaranteed function of the observatory and its lens that sharpens gravity into a laser-sharp gaze. It brings time to you before you're ready for it. Lunaterra knew that she'd never be able to stop using Pluto if she saw her face to face. So she went directly to close the observatory's lens. Pluto knew that she wouldn't be able to stop her face to face, so she forced the eye to stay open with the gravity alone rather than confront her. A stubborn indirect fight, like two children pulling on a toy until they tear it in half, and that's what they did. Push, pull, tug, until the iris cracked, contracted, stalled, ground to a halt, exceeded its limits, and shattered and collapsed. Even without the gravity of the colony's tidal reactor, there's enough gravity to, when condensed in a single point, cause disaster. Move, Pluto! We have to get out right now! Luna T, you idiot! Stubborn jerk! Mars was right about you. I told you I wouldn't budge. Why'd you call my bluff like that? You're right. I'm an idiot. It's my problem, and it's all my fault, so move! My cores are desynchronizing. The gravity quake is destabilizing their tidal resonance, you jerk, so I can't move. Why'd you keep pushing knowing it was gonna happen? I'm more stubborn than you. Always. No, not having it. You already said everything is your fault, so this is now true forever, until the end of time, which this gravity quake is gonna take us to. Fine, I'll place my reactor in resonance with yours to stabilize, then max thrust, and then we'll get out of here. There's no way your ship has enough power to keep up. Then leave me. No! You need to live so I can keep yelling at you. Don't even think about not leaving with me. Then let's do what I said in the first place. Get out of the observatory before it swallows us. Have you ever been in the epicenter of a gravity quake? Maybe it'll be fine. Don't you dare let me... Don't you dare let that make you feel better. It shouldn't. The iris shuddering and shattering and sparking. The tidal forces rock through them. Living in space means not having to know which way is up, but now they can't even tell when is up. Up, down and up, and left and right are everywhere and nowhere, and the exit of the closing eye is forever out of reach of space and time. Where are you going? That's upside backwards. I can't steer. How can you? Here, fine, I'll guide you. Hold on, the pulse is stuck. That already happened. It's about to happen. It's happening right now. It might happen. It's continuing to happen. Lunati, calm down. You know better than to be paralyzed by linear time like that. Just do it. Whatever it happens to be, whenever it comes up. Forget the tense. Forget the tense. If you're about to do it, you'll do it. If you've done it, it's done. And already you've done it. If you can't. So what's next? It's always the future in space. That's the point of coming to space. You go there when you want to be in the future. Now. It is the world of will be, and maybe to be, never is or was. Reaching but never grasping. A future severed from the present that causes it. Light floods from the iris of the lens, then it shuts again, many infinites to come. I'm Pluto. What's your name? It's Lunaterra. I'm assigned to protect you. You're sweet. But so sad. I'm almost happy to meet you. But when I'm so happy, you seem sad. Why is that? Oh no, sorry. That's super annoying. Dr. Nix keeps telling me people think it's rude when you just read the story off them instead of asking them first. You're not supposed to be able to do that to me. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry, sorry. I'm excited, but do happy things make you sad? Sometimes a little. I'm glad you're having fun at least. I'll make sure you have fun too. I can share being happy, but that's the function of love. Do you love me? Uh, um, uh, hmm? Yeah, you get it. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mouse. Yeah, you get it. Loves make the universe. Love makes the universe work. Do you know physics? You don't have to be jealous of me. You know everything I was given. You deserve that too. I'll cut your whole dead name out of this story, just like I did for me. Focus, Lunatera. You have to be faster than thought. You have to feel. Trust your instincts. Cut through the edges of the possibility space. Lunati, it's okay. It's hard, but you don't have to cry. There's lots of us here. We can beat them together. I don't know what to do. What if what they want is impossible, but I want it too? Why can't I just make it happen? I can see everyone's desires, but I just can't make all of it fit. Why can't I forgive them? Why can't this work? Why won't anyone help me? If only I was bigger, but I'm messing it all up. If only I wasn't here. You're part of it. Don't erase yourself from the equation. You're the universe. They hate us. They'll never be happy in a universe where you're happy too, so let's run. If they don't want us to be a part of humanity, we don't need their cradle either. They're considering escalation of the conflict. Memorial Foundation wants to keep it an existential disagreement, but Earth wants to make it military. I guess we weren't human enough to be wanted on Earth, but we're human enough to be dealt with the way that humans do. The better we do against Memorial Foundation, the more it pushes them to write us off as a lost cause and prevent the complications we'll cause up here by killing us. You were so hard on him before. Forgiving your enemies is good. It's cruel to take us back, but they're trying to protect us, and they're the only ones who understand how hard it is. We knew we couldn't escape Earth's gravity, and I guess they know it too. That it's a war with no point, that they won't even have to worry. Is the chance worth it? I don't know. Where would you bet? On them. You should go. No, not without you. No, dummy. Go so you can save me if I mess it up, and I'll stay in case you do. I don't trust him, but I trust you. Whichever of us is right to deliver the other to the future. Light blows through the iris. Fragments in the universe exists again. A place and a time, clinging to each other. Clinging to each other in that place are Pluto and Lunaterra, touching to remember they're alive, broken but alive. Pluto? Are you okay? Of course not. We almost were swallowed by time and space. I almost lost you again. And I had to go through it all again. Everything. Me too. It was hard. It was so hard, but we did it. We messed up, and there's no fixing it. But who cares? You're still here. I'll still fight you to the end. But just so I can know it's for real. So you can stay like this for a little if you want to. Yeah. Heaven will be mine? Nuh-uh. Seems like it is, actually. Seems like that is what is occurring. So that is where we're going to stop on Memorial Foundation so that we can get the Celestial Mechanics ending. That's not something I planned to do from the start, but it's kind of what I ended up doing. Give me 2 seconds. Genuinely, I need to pee again. I'll be right back.
All right. Ooh. Sorry, I am back. God damn. Just gotta put my headphones on. We love we love our bodies getting worse over time. Hey. Anyways, mail and alerts. Subject Mars resignation attempt. Origin pilot personal records for your eyes only. Author Memorial Foundation Cold War Archives. How you doing, Haru? Mars, we present this to you as a token of your hard work from Memorial Foundation Existential Safety. Your tireless work for Earth is recognized. The war is ending soon. Do I have to do another tour? The war is ending soon. With your help, don't you want to see it through? We could not have done this without you. You can end it fine without me. Your help would prevent us from having to worry. It would guide many more of your former comrades back home. How much longer? That's the part you're always cagey about. You don't need me, do you? Of course we need you. That's not what I want to hear. What do you want to hear? We are, as always, prepared to reward you. But you've never been satisfied. Is that what you want to say? What would you like? I just want to go home. If you truly did, you would not have been here in the first place. I already know what you want. As soon as you know too, we're ready to give it to you. Hmm.
How? Okay, to those that know the setting better, how old are these characters genuinely? Like, do we have like a time, like a year where any of this is happening? Does it matter how long the Cold War was ago? Like, I'm looking for anything that looks like a. Oh. I was looking for anything that, like, looked like it would give, like, a day or time. Because I've never actually looked closely like that. Hey, Pluto, can I ask you something? Clear up your sector first, and then we can talk. Already did. Really? Are you being honest with me? 20s? Well, it makes me wonder, like, how long has it been since the Cold War? Really? Are you being honest with me? There's a few stragglers left, but they don't count. Wow! I'm actually impressed. Whatever. Driving back the ships was simple. They were totally easy. Oh, then I'm not impressed anymore. Hey, why? You just said it was no big deal. It would just be patronizing if I was proud of you for doing something easy. You were impressed just a second ago. Empty praise is bad for you. Oh, don't sulk. I'm not sulking. It's hard to impress you. That's not true. You impress me a lot. When have I ever? You impressed me by the way you tried way too hard to support girls like me when we were awkward, weird, annoying, and had no idea what we were. Cold War started in the 50s. Current date is 81. Do we know the lore? Well, no, they'd be in the academy. And most academies like that start like teenage years, especially in settings like this. Okay, I'm genuinely curious. What is it about? Like, obviously there are senior officers that pilot mechas, right? Like, they're obviously like people who are super old and are like, fuck yeah, I want to pilot the mech. But like, I wonder why younger people. I wonder if it's because younger people can adapt quicker, react faster, or something else. Because, like, almost every mecha universe has some reason why it's younger people that isn't just, well, they have faster reflexes. You know? I don't know. I think it's neat. But yeah, the current date is 81. I don't know how I never put that together. I think it's just because that is the past right now. I do wonder then uh when we know the devil takes place, because it's the same universe, but like Neptune has a smartphone. That's an embarrassing way to put it. And you weren't those things. I was, and that's why I love you. It's cute when you're overprotective. Oh, speaking of, you impress me by the way you make girls mad at you. How is that a compliment? They wouldn't get so mad if you didn't make them care. You're so mean. I'm not joking. I mean, what I admire is the way you make it up after you mess up. You mess up a lot, but you say sorry a lot, and you mean it. Hey, let me make sure I have the right group name here. Worst Girl Games? Can you stop hitting me in the solar plexus? I need that. I need that. You do not need to make a character that has some of my exact personality traits. That's a little close to home. Mars is a little too close to home. After, you're different. Not everyone's like that. When you don't change, you still make them feel worth it? That still feels not great. The only thing between me and Mars that I could separate on is that I feel like I would actually understand what Lunaterra's going for. And I would actually disagree that this sounds not great. Like, no, I actually do think it's a very positive personality trait to own up
to fucking up and then trying not to fuck up again in the same way. Like, that's a virtue. That's a virtue that you're okay with learning. Like, you know what I mean? That still feels not great. You fight a lot, but it's never a war. You never scorch earth, and you always say you're sorry in the end. Not everyone can fight like that. You wanted to ask if we were too cavalier about the war the other day, but you really are the only one who keeps it so unserious. You're so serious about not making it serious. Wait, that makes me wonder. Cold War Archive. Cold War started in the 50s. Current date is 81. The war is over. This could be up to like a year old. Maybe two. Either way. Dr. Nick's assessment. Memorial Foundation Executive Committee annual report from Field Commander Europa. Dr. Nix was always a controversial figure. Her theories were attractive in that they had always been complaints that they had about that they had sorry. Dr. Nix has always been a controversial figure. Her theories were attractive, but there had always been complaints that they had little basis in reality. Yet by virtue of challenging the nature of reality, her theories had a way of putting it that made you feel as if you were the compromised one. That you, the one unable to see things objectively. Given that the nature of the universe is verifiably one that is defined by humans, it's easy to give these particular theories credence. Memorial Foundation, in particular, as the most successful post-war NGO in dealing with existential threats cross-culturally and internationally, was obviously attracted to a possible proactive approach in the Cold War rather than a reactive one. Humans are not human enough. An extremely arresting slogan. Truly, who is human enough? Especially that humans already know everything that is necessary to be human. We simply have failed to accurately and completely internalize it. Outside of gravity, we will achieve true humanity. Drink the water. Hell yeah. How you doing, Exile? We got the Exile Sentry up in chat. Wait. Rather than advocating a revolution of humanity through technology or biology, Dr. Nix believed that we simply had not created a culture sufficient for the full potential of humanity. In her view, humanity are perfect neurons in a jumbled circuit. By arranging correct human knowledge in the proper order, we could bypass the flaws in our universe. Her insistence on incorporation rather than rejection of existentially threatening elements was the fundamental cause of her failure to attract mainstream acceptance of her theories. Dr. Nix decried the narrow-minded individuals who let petty prejudice narrow their conception of what could or should count as human. While in her view, humanity should encompass all that is and all that is not, others believed that the fundamental division was crucial to the definition of humanity. That is, to be something means not to be other things. Becoming stars. The Lagrange colony is an uninhabitable husk, but Cradle's Graces still clings to it, quite literally. Pluto's dream might collapse under its own weight, or crush Saturn under it. No, I'm not gonna. Pluto, come on. Listen. Don't think I don't see you trying to protect me. It's for your own good. I utterly refuse. Dr. Nix is worried, and for a good reason. Only I have a strong enough gravity to pull the colony ruins out of the Lagrange point and pull it along with us to the moon. So I don't even know why we're having this conversation. The tidal forces would tear you apart, and you just get in the way, and I want to have fun. It would be hard enough on your own, but celestial mechanics wants it too. And not to rebuild it or use it. Wait. It would be hard enough on your own, but celestial mechanics wants it too. And not to rebuild it or use it, but to reseed Ares when we win. They'll finish what they started and turn it inside out into something horrible. And they'll send that annoying hijacker to do it. I'm not letting you do that alone. You'd never let me do anything fun. Gotta go. Talk to you later. Might be back before you end stream. Take care, Peach. Hope you have a good rest of your night if you can't stop by. Tomorrow we will be doing Supermarket together, and those streams usually take a while. You never let me do anything fun. It's not fun. This is serious. Why are you always having so much fun, That's not the case whatsoever. I'm doing what needs to be done. Does doing what needs to be done refer to your mission assignments or that girl that you keep? The mission, I promise. I want to do something that needs to be done. You're very strong and very brave, but it's not a time I can just sit around and be protected. We're too desperate now. We need hope too. Pluto, but you can't do everything. Battle in physical space for the future. I do love battle in narrative space for each other. I remember this being extremely well written too, but CM. Pluto hesitates because she's not ready for this kind of fight, and Saturn is. The colony shines like a star until you're right on it. Then it looms, impossibly large, a translucent sphere, a drop of water suspended in space. Glistening beneath the drop of water, past the clouds that form in its crumbling artificial atmosphere, to the strange haze that seeps in from beneath the crumbling streets, it's possible to make out the fading light of the colony's collapsing systems. A massive jewel, like a clean slice taken out of Earth, and floated in space until its gravity formed into its tiniest planet. Or into the tiniest planet. Even a tiny world is still a world. Who can touch this? Move it even by an inch. Much less move Earth by an inch. Pluto drifts slowly in orbit around the colony, waiting. Even you don't know what to do sometimes, huh? I'm kind of stumped too, if I'm being honest, but sorry. Destroying it sounds way easier than whatever they're trying to make you do. The string of pearls skates along the outer edges of the colony's ice and atmosphere. She's having fun. She's playing. For just a moment, Pluto wonders what she's doing here. Oh no, Saturn. I'm happy to see you, but I was hoping that I might be able to convince you to help me take it away. Oh yeah? What made you think that? For the same reason you thought you could convince me. Or thought that you could convince me. Because you like me? Or because you don't care for your side that much either? I care about all of us left here in space. It's amazing that you actually honestly do, but that's not what I asked, huh? There's a lot of ways to care about everyone in space. Dragging a colony out of Lagrange Point yourself is one way to do it. There's another way to care about everyone up in space. You can show it by destroying this place, too. You're saying that would free us from the past? But it won't make those memories go away. We're making something out of them, so that time and pain won't be wasted. This is important to me, and I'll fight for real over it. Don't look at me like that. You'll make me sad. You really don't need to be the one to tell me, because I already know I'm doing something super dumb. I wonder, what do you want? And why do you think you can get it from me? It's just gonna be a fight. Is that what you're after? The string of pearls presses its heel into the ice of the colony's atmosphere. Yeah, even more so now. Didn't they teach you about sunk cost fallacies in the academy? Memories should just be memories. That's why you kind of make me mad sometimes. I've been having this feeling you're gonna do something way dumber and scarier than just fight me. Am I right? Because after I already said that there wasn't anything you could do, after you were shaking and afraid from just being close enough to see me, it looks like I can trust you to come right back no matter how much I try to warn you. And trust you to come back twice as much. You're wasted on protecting this pointless ball of scrap. Whoever's ordering you around has no idea what they're doing. You're so right. But I'm still not gonna let you through.
You're wasted on Cradle's graces in general. And the rest of humanity, too. Don't try to push my buttons like that. I don't think it's cute. It's a lot of work to be human. I'm not trying to be cute. I mean it. It's more for humans than just for others. You're not mad at the humans who got to be human for free? It's a privilege to be human. Have you forgotten why we're here? Because humans, who wanted to be more human, took the least human of us up here to see how much more human they could be. And now they want to throw you away after they learned everything they could from you. Don't you resent humanity? I do. What do you do when someone says you can't have something? Do you think you should work twice as hard until you earn it? I don't. I want to smash it until no one else can have it. You know, you're just like Lunatera. Please don't say that. You're merciless. It's in a good way. Not even then. Don't get me wrong. Just depresses me to see you waste it all on them. Hang on. There we go. That was actually important to answer. Not even then. Don't get me wrong. It just depresses me to see you wasted on all of them. You should be having fun. You know, I wish I could come here just for that. Just to have fun. Good. Have fun with me. I know you want to show me mercy. Lab rat to lab rat. Mutant bitch to mutant bitch. That's not what we need though, is it? I want to see you. I want to see the you that's having nothing but fun. I'm still getting used to this body, but I think I can still surprise you with it. And you'd like that, right? Cutting loose with no gravity to tie you down? I think about that every day. It's so tempting. You've got to be ginger with the universe, you know, Saturn. Now that you're this strong, you've got to be careful. So much can go wrong. I'll make sure to be very careful with the universe you love. You don't have to hold back with me, though. Aren't I the only person you can go tide to tide with, holding nothing back? That's a big promise. I don't want to come off as full of myself, but I don't want you to underestimate me either. Plastic girl to plastic girl, I won't patronize you like that. It's tempting, but I wonder if you're really ready. I wouldn't mind getting your ship's elf broken and dragged back to Cradle's Grace's dream. You wouldn't mind getting your ship's elf broken and dragged back for the Cradle's Grace's dream lab to do who knows what to? What, is that supposed to sound bad? You really are? Oh, fine. I'm gonna start easy, okay? They flirted enough, so neither is in the mood to lie. So no holding back, a lie to others about how strong you are, and no mercy, a lie to yourself about how strong someone else is. When Pluto opens her arms wide enough for her gravity to condense, pull, and tear through the space she's trusting Saturn can handle the pressure, she has faith Saturn will outdo her. Saturn meets Pluto's expectations, with just a little bit of convulsing and shuddering, then she exceeds them by darting like a bullet, a little hot arrow of danger and just as dangerous to the touch. Maklo's a big target, but Saturn isn't going to be lazy this time. This is the time to be precise, to throw everything in on the other vector she's flying along, to not let Pluto's tidal forces budge her a millimeter. Which is good, because even then, she only barely grazes Pluto. Ooh! I remember arcades too. Pluto's faster than you could even imagine. The universe moves away, bending to not hit her, with tides that say, oh, coming into orbit is fine, but no touching. That you have to work for. What Saturn dared anyway is very bold of her. The burn on Maklo, where Saturn's light passed over Pluto's stings only a little. But it was close, so Pluto takes her seriously and grabs the string of pearls by her tail, flings her into the colony's surfaces, and dives after her. Saturn is basking in the bounty of attention, It requires all of Pluto's gravitational forces to keep her contained. The string of pearls makes her feel like goo, like a cartoon, like a liquid, and with it, she's as slippery and untouchable too. Others would shatter under the pressure, but the string of pearls bulges and squishes. Pluto pulls and pushes, trying to force her in a space that will sit still long enough that she can deal with it. Saturn squeals in excitement until she can stop giggling, long enough to push Pluto off with an electrical burn. Pluto can't help but laugh too. It's funny how much nothing's working, even though she's trying as hard as she can. That makes her want to work as hard as she can. Lab-grown girls know. Vat-cultured girls know. Carefully indoctrinated, carefully raised, special, gifted girls. All they know. Heroes want to hold us, but we don't need them at all. Rather than bandages and kindness, the string of pressing wounds together is the medicine we need. No boy who wants to heal your wound is worth the one who'll tell you your wound is there. I can't believe it. Me neither. I really thought I'd actually be the one beating you. You didn't lie though. You really could endure it. All of it. The colony is much worse for wear. Saturn shattered against it many, many times. Pluto broke across it a few times too. It's shaking in the Lagrange point. You won, even though you lost. I had a lot of fun. I wouldn't have been able to have it with anyone else. I'm glad I trusted you not to lose. Told ya. Good girl. I should never have doubted one of us. Thank you, thank you. We did our best, had the most fun we could have. And when we get to the moon, don't forget, you could keep having fun just like this, if you let me show you the way. It's January 30th, 1981. The day is almost here. The deadline to save everyone who came up to space with us, fought with us, tried to bring everyone up with us. If we shut down the lunar gravity well, there won't be any choice left. The power that keeps our ship selves in check will fall apart, and we won't have anywhere else to go home. If we kill the dream, no one will die. We really, really hope that's true. No one should die in space. No one should die, period. No one has to die because ship self-combat is shimmering missiles of light, cosmic explosions, electricity that sears through the soul, blade science is impossible for a human to produce, dances of combat without end, a fight against ideas with toys. Humans would never show that sort of compassion to each other. Earth's answer is a single atomic particle fired at near light speed directly into the cockpit core. A true weapon from a military force. The quickest, most efficient, instantaneous, unavoidable way to kill a human. The most boring possible way to pointlessly die. No drama, no meaning, just nothing. Lunaterra, Memorial Foundation Ace Pilot. It's January 30th, 1981. In the end, they may get everything they want. In the way that no one wants. If we open up the lunar gravity well, then we can establish forever another Earth, and maybe another. We can inhabit the whole system. That will cut humanity into two, and more. The distance will be so much further. Everything we have will be even further from them. How much are we going to lose? How much will we never be able to give them? The moon's very close to being part of Earth. It's full of life, and humans can live there now. It feels impossible, and I don't want to give up. We should break it off forever, shouldn't we? All I want is to stitch these two humanities together, but if one of us dies as a result, I will fight forever to keep that precious thing alive. Pluto, Princess of Cradle's Graces. It's January 30th, 1981. They don't name it because naming it gives it power, but not naming it gives it even more. It must be in every corner, behind every door, far, far away, in the spaces between stars. It is defined and categorized in every human culture, and is deliberately omitted from explicit naming conventions by Memorial Foundation in favor for a euphemism less captivating to the imagination, such as existential threat. Rather than a specific word that would stimulate the imagination, but a trick like this would not work. In the euphemism is a hollow void that can hold all fears and all possibilities. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. But what is not does not stop existing, and like humans, can decide. It's the kiss of inverse, everything that humans can imagine but can't become. The shortcut is to attaining it is to forsake everything that humans already are. If a bunch of idiots get tricked into going there, it would make a very convenient enemy for Earth. That's their real fear. Before that happens, I will tell you a secret. Ready? Saturn, Celestial Mechanics Ace Pilot. Day 7. We are indeed close. I'm so sorry, everyone. I tried so hard to keep those memories of when we were in the academy, and space seems so innocent and full of possibility. All I have left is scraps, but I hope that's enough. Report received, awaiting new directives. Tell everyone. On the moon, the border between Earth and space, we have struck a deal with celestial mechanics to open up the gravity well, to give us a fighting chance at making the dream real. Everyone, take your time. Together, our gravity, our love, can be as heavy as the world. Tell everyone, it's time for us to head back to Earth's cradle, so we can say our last goodbyes. Ready for launch. So we have... But also, check our alignment. Celestial Mechanics is hitting it. Comms. Hey, Mars. You're still really mad at Lunatera, right? I will fight her the next time I even see her. So why don't you? Why don't you fight her? I have my hands full. She's probably avoiding me. She's sneaky, and you can never find her unless she wants it. But I fought her plenty already. Oh, whoops. See, she wants to see you. This is why I'm worried. I don't like her sneaking around you. Are you really worried? Or are you just super jealous? Both! I mean, no. I meant to take no. Mars. I've told you that you should be a main character, right? You're so straightforward. You ought to be the real hero. I meant to take no. Of course, sweetie. You just want to protect me from the big, bad, insufferable, meanie Lunatera. What's so great about someone who's so stuck up all the time? She always treated me really kindly. And not so kindly, I felt weird. Or fragile. Or frustrated. In fact, she really thought I was annoying at first. Even still, she was patient. She was mean. She was sad and jealous I had things so nice, and so much sooner than she did. But because of that, she was also very tender and understood so much even before I did. I couldn't have without her. I don't think that we should have melted all that. I don't think But I don't think we would have melted that angsty shell of hers without the both of us. She doesn't feel very melted to me. She hasn't come around to show me otherwise. Oh, were you expecting her to come around to you? I mean, well, anyway, she should be the one who comes back. Oh, Mars, if you want to see her so bad, you need to put in some effort, too. Why should I when she betrayed us? One of you has to stop being stubborn, or you'll never make up. That's true. So let me just check something. It's getting stuffy in here. Oh, yeah, it's way warmer than it was even this morning, and it was still beautiful out. Oh, fuck yeah, I can open the window. Oh my god, and it's 53 degrees Fahrenheit at night. That's like perfect nighttime cold. Or that's perfect nighttime temperature. It's the small things in life. Like, genuinely, hear me out. It is actually straight up the small things in life. Because, like, of course, I live so that I can see my partners and friends. You know? Or partner, singular, at the moment.
Um, but like, of course, that is the reason that I both keep living and try to make the universe a better place. At the same time, everything in nature is so fucking beautiful. Like, if I did something stupid and couldn't like see a beautiful woodland area, like I'd be so mad from the afterlife. Granted, knowing me, very hard to keep me dead. So, subject. Academy Director interviews. Origin, Declassified Archives. Author, Memorial Foundation Executive Committee. Please do have a seat. The committee has enjoyed reading your resume. The committee has also deeply enjoyed these fascinating criticisms of the Newtonian Jungian model of physics. It certainly does feel revolutionary. This committee would like to pause to acknowledge how the candidate's work has met and exceeded the desired qualifications. And, without diminishing the accomplishments of the candidate, the committee would like to express that its interest is more piqued by the candidate's interpretation of the existential threat. The committee would invite the candidate to elaborate more on the implications this would have for managing cultural and colonization efforts in an administrative role within the Memorial Foundation space program, if the candidate would. The committee hopes the candidate will elaborate on the nature of what an educational program would entail. The committee is especially interested in the assertion of radical cultural advancement made possible without risk of existential contamination. The committee is intrigued by the refutations of the so-called scapegoat proposal by the program's current director on technical and theoretical grounds, as opposed to the usual ethical ones. And the committee invites your comment as to the end of the future of culture in space. Subject: Pilot Program 1. Origin, Pilot Program Educational Records. Author, Metaculture and Gravitational Research Chair, Dr. Nix. Of course the kids wanted to live in space. Obviously, what would be more dreamlike and fun? I never thought I would spend time with children who wanted to be here again. In the Summer Scouts program, I taught the unwanted children of unwanted places. You know what that work is like. Summer Scouts straight up name dropped. Noted. Either way, Memorial Foundation asked us to take those unwanted kids away from Earth so that we could make it safe for the wanted ones. Okay, outright, that is our through line. I can't remember if the camp actually had like a name offhand, but like that would explain what the Summer Scouts are all about. And frankly, like, it makes me wonder, like, does We Know the Devil take place before? I'm hung up on the fact that Neptune had a smartphone in the original game. But, like, they're also saying that the Summer Scouts got flung onto Earth. This could also be a branch. This could also just be a branch of, like, one of the endless possibilities, you know? So, like, maybe there's a Heaven Will Be Mine ending where the Summer Scouts exist once more, for instance. I don't know. That's the duty I was ready for. We would have to fight a long and difficult war to make space feel safe. But for that time, all of us, unwanted children and unwanted adults, would have something special that no one on Earth had. To answer your question, then, I didn't have it planned from the start. I've always been very loyal. It happened over time, but it happened more quickly than I had ever thought. It wasn't such a far-off dream. We believed in the Academy's students, and were patient with them, and gave them an environment physically, culturally, gravitationally, as free from Earth gravity as we could realistically grant them. They knew what to do much better than we did.
Pluto, more than any other student, because Pluto has so much to change. If she and her power fascinate you so much, you should remember the only reason she has it at all is because she was free from you. As they grew up, they made space the future we were dreaming of, and before I knew it, I couldn't think of a single reason why we should give space back to you. And then, you went and said you didn't even want it anymore. Um, the acceleration due to gravity. Celestial mechanics and Cradle's graces have one thing in common, and that's escaping Earth's gravity. To do that, they need Saturn and Pluto to work together to corrupt the lunar gravity well. It's an opportunity for one to get the upper hand over the other, but they're not thinking about it politically. Launch. We're seriously working with celestial mechanics? This sounds stupid. I seriously don't trust them. They're so shady, no matter what they say. If it's something that's in their best interests, there's no way it's also in ours. I know there's no way to restart the space colonization project without opening the lunar gravity well, but that's exactly why we need to keep them away, as far away as possible from it. You don't need any help to do it. That's really true, especially with the reprehensible and irresponsible pilot they're assigning to the operation. Yes, I know, but hey! If I didn't need to convince you, why are you doing this? I know it's true, Mars. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. So why? Isn't it true that they're just using you? For a secret plan that'll let him take control during the final battle? They're sneaky. I know, Mars. But if we don't open the gravity well, there's no way to have the final battle in the first place. Earth's gravity will destabilize our ship selves completely. Neither of us can get what we want with Earth so close. But why do you need that conniving pilot with you? There are some things even I can't do. You're the one who keeps telling me that, you know. There's no other way to even get a chance at this without their help. But they're gonna use that as leverage to trick us anyway. They're not beneath that. I'm not beneath it either, you know. That's why I'm here. I'll be trying to get the upper hand for us. It can be ruthless too, Mars. Don't you think I want it badly enough? I mean, you shouldn't have to. I know that's the part you hate. I don't care if you don't want to see me do something bad, though. I can do it, just like all of you can. You always tell me not to worry, but then there's nothing that I can do. I want to stop worrying, but I can't when there's nothing I can do. Oh, Mars. I really forget sometimes. You're such a good girl. But just trust me, okay? Trust me and watch me, okay? That's all I ever need. Saturn tempts Pluto to fall in with her. Yeah. On the lunar South Pole, the moon's first city glitters mundanely. So ordinary, it's hard to believe it's not just another site of Earth. The Lagrange colony was destroyed. The Ares colony was stillborn. But Earth's satellite is almost as much Earth as Earth is. So we have the authority to name Earth's satellite the Moon, part of our body, the native sphere, and not foreign, unknown Luna. Even if the space program's ended, the Moon will remain part of Earth, as it once was before a cosmic event tore it from Earth. Reclaiming the Moon was a historically and existentially important event for all of us. Except for this impossible tower to an impossible mountain and a point of external light, which is not so earthy yet. The gravity well is suspended directly above the tower's point, resonating with Earth to keep every wayward human in space grounded. The moon has been taught almost all of the Earth's gravity, but not quite. There's still some possibility left. You're quiet? Are you up to something? What makes you say that? The tilde, but also everything else. Hey, I'm being sneaky here. I'm being very sneaky here. The string of pearls in Krunmakla circle around the wall, glimmering. Dyslexia, stop failing me now. The string of pearls in Krunmakla circle around the small, glimmering void of the gravity well. For all the good it might do, Celestial Mechanics and Cradle's Grace's capital ships are standing by, just not too close. Who knows what could happen?
I should be suspicious, shouldn't I? I think you must have some sort of evil plan. Of course, you could always be suspicious. I'm shifty. I'm here to get the upper hand. Good. That's why I'm here too. Still, I don't mind if you think it's your evil plan that finally succeeds, as long as it's yours. You're trying to fluster me. Try harder. I mean, it is working, I just want to get flustered more. You're in a really good mood, so I'm extra worried. More worried to be working with you than all the times fighting you. Not in a bad way, though. The gravity well is a massive engine, and it is very stable. To destabilize it is very dangerous to everyone and everything, which is why they're opening it. The escorting operational platform from the Cradle's Graces and Celestial Mechanics tonelessly coordinate with each other to instruct Saturn and Pluto on preparation, like exes that are forced to attend an event for their children together, because that's what they're for. Now you're the one who's quiet. I was in a good mood. Did I tease you too much? Oh no, I was just remembering something. Do you remember this too? We did something like this before. A long time ago. We did? Together? I only saw you a little bit back on campus. It was kind of a weird time. You seemed really far away then. More so than now, and we weren't even there that long. For the third generation, they wanted to kickstart the process, you know. Not the whole childhood of care and attention, but condensed, chemically assisted, cybernetic enhanced growth. They wanted us to go from nothing to perfect. I guess by that standard, we didn't fall as short as we could have. Hang on. Unfolding dimensional cords. Begin torque acceleration. They were hard times. You know, I was really bad at first, right? Not just terrible at all the classes, all the tests, all the work, but I wasn't obedient or likable either. I was super annoying. It still feels like that's me. Most of the time. Oh, God, yeah, that hits more than it should. Ugh. That can't be true. 2 seconds, I need to crush a bottle. Now I could just let the empty bottle stay on my desk, but that means I have less elbow room to get relaxed while I read. That also actually does remind me I have to... That means I have to grab another one. Ugh. Alright, let me mute for a second so I can pop it open. There we go. Ugh. Bed, you are streaming? Emphasis on the ing? What? Huh? Wait. Fuck you talking about, Willis? I mean, you've gone a long time. Oh, that's because I've done 2 games. That can't be true. Of course it's true. I wouldn't have tried so hard if I hadn't been like that at first. When I first got here, I knew I was lucky, and should have been so much happier than I was on Earth, but everything felt wrong. It took a long time for those memories to turn happy. Containing stray particles, establishing that. It was the opposite for me. At first, I loved being a science experiment, but I guess it would have been different for you. I didn't think about that. But you made it sound like we met each other before? Enabling physical canceller. Limit off. I'm good at remembering people. There's not that many of us, so it's not that hard. But I remember you. You looked like you started out perfect, you know? I was a little jealous of you. I'm not surprised you don't remember the one thing we did together. Everyone was there, and we were just thinking about what happened, and not anything else. Oh, you're talking about... Yeah, that. We... We were all there, so of course you were there. I didn't think about that either. Nyx, Iapetus, and Europa all wanted the space program to justify its existence. Earth didn't agree. The alien threat that we defeated with such ease wasn't even worth it. Just a shadow created by waves of humanity in space, a color and a light that had fought us and never came into focus. Hey, it just occurred to me. Color and light? Wasn't that, like, the entire thing that Venus was seeing whenever the devil got close to her? Like, I'm not crazy, right? What? Just a shadow created by waves of humanity in space, a color and a light that fought us and never came into focus. So they had us all come together over the gravity well, just like this, to see if we could pull together what they were more fully in. Sorry. To see if we could pull any. So they had all of us come together over the gravity well, just like this, to see if we could pull whatever they were more fully into our universe. And then it went so wrong. That was when the space program really ended, wasn't it? We never should have done it. It was risky and no one knew what they were doing, and everyone was desperate. I don't know. Maybe Neith doesn't feel the same way. The tiny point of glimmering darkness in the gravity well sometimes shines in such a way that for a moment, it seems like there's something inside it. I hope that's true. I want to believe it. I can't blame them for what happened, though, either way. Heh. Really, though? What do you mean, can't blame them? I mean, they were the one who gave in, right? Well, when most people talk about what Neith did, or what happened, when they turned inside out... Wait. When most people talked about what Neith did, or what happened, when they turned inside out in the light of the gravity well, it was as if it was a horrible accident. Not something they actually did on purpose. Why do you talk about it like it was? I just had this feeling. I didn't really know Neith at all. No, maybe I should just be more honest. For a second I was thinking the same thing. What if I jump in? I thought the same thing. We could have been like them. During the testing, we saw the gravity well opening before us. We could have jumped in too if we wanted to. It was scary. It was. But a lot of us looked at that, and after, we thought, us too. And that was how Celestial Mechanics was born. That's the truth. Whatever Iapetus really wants aside, we have our own ideas. That's amazing. I couldn't be so brave. When Earth looked at what emerged, they were filled with despair. So that's how I decided to feel too. After all, it was proof that the existential threat was the same thing it's always been. The same thing we've been fighting as long as humans have been humans. The shadow of possibility cast by us. The not quite aliens we fought for so long were just caused by our ripples in space-time. We only had ourselves to lose and nothing to gain by fighting them. And Neith went, and what? Where Neith went and what they became, only Venus knows. Are we talking the same person? Okay, I don't remember that name being evoked.
But it's also been so long since I played the Saturn chapters that, like, God, it really, like, I also just see parallels in Lunaterra and Pluto and Saturn uh between Neptune, Jupiter, and Venus. I just occasionally see like scraps of the other crew. I think it's neat. Either way, where Neith went and what they became, only Venus knows. What did you really feel in that moment before you told yourself otherwise? I'll tell you how I felt. Felt smug. I mean, I did everything right and that loser messed it up. When I learned it was the end of the program, I was mad. And then they demoted me from piling it anyway. And then I realized I was the fool. It was an important lesson on not being such a good girl. Stabilizing reaction. Synchronicity perfect, hold until stable. I feel like I know you a little better now, Saturn. Me too. In a new kind of way. But now, what did you really feel? The gravity well opens, the reactor is turned inside out, from shining white to infinite black, drawing in all that is and emitting all that isn't. Yet. Both gravity itself, the weight we have in the universe, that alone is all we need to touch. Oh, there you are. I knew we'd only get a moment to touch. Do you maybe think sometimes of falling in? Even you? You must have thought about it. Core resonance in perfect conditions, ready for full release. Gravity well unbound, all stability checks nominal. Here it comes. Back then, I almost did jump in. I thought about it before it was happening. When they said, you must not, under any circumstances. It would make anything I couldn't do possible, if I left everything I had behind. It's an awful paradox of a deal, but I wanted to do so much. I wanted to do it so much, I would have if Neith hadn't wanted it 1 second more. I've never told anyone that. You're really good at seducing people, Saturn. If I gave you the chance to fall in again, would ya? Would you fall in with me? Oh, just you wait and see. The gravity well shines. It is collapsing into a star. Everything is starting. The opening was peaceful, perfect, no problems. Yet there is a feeling, like the fluttering of wings deep down. Day 8. Oh! Mars? You were right. I am too strong. I'm afraid. I'm getting bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger. But there's still so much to do, and I don't know how to do any of it. What if I make a mistake? What if I'm too strong? Is the universe going to be okay? Pluto, no, Pluto. Never. No way. That's impossible. I never meant it like that. I messed up again. I'm probably gonna mess up again by saying this, but you're not that strong, Pluto. No one's that strong. You know that even you aren't as strong as the Earth, right? You're not even any stronger than anyone on Earth, even in the Krun Makla. You were the one who told me to stop getting a big head about my ship self. Like, if I fell to Earth, it'd crumble under Earth's gravity. Any given human is a million times stronger than that. Space doesn't just have any competition. So, you're not strong. You're just stronger than a bunch of idiots. I love you, Mars. I keep telling other people that, but I never listen to myself. I can only hear it when you say it. You know? That sometimes applies to your love advice, too. Hey! I am the one who gets to bully you about that. Take your advice sometimes, then. I'll listen to myself when you do. Then you better get ready. You're not gonna be ahead of me forever. Wait, am I a rival now? Finally! I'll defeat you! LOL. Thanks, Mars. We saved each other again. I love these two. Ship's Elf. Origin, pilot program training documentation. Leaked. Author, Memorial Foundation, Homeworld Archives. Let me do a mental read of this first paragraph before anything. Oh yeah, I can read that. Mercosium, the first true ship's elf, was made in 1969, named after her place of manufacture on the then Luna, now Moon. They were made as prototypes, not to be mass produced, aesthetic considerations. A neutral, idealized body representing all of humanity. They loved bullshit like that. Not the first vessel with a gravitational engine, only the first built to use the engine to exert outwards gravitational control. A ship self creates the pressure and culture for a human to survive alone without the presence of others. It's an unsuitable attempt to make a human function as a world. To make it sustainable, we have to become world-sized in body, thought, and soul. Encompass every self that has been, or will be, or could be. Its original armaments were extremely varied. Since they were a proof of concept and it wasn't understood yet what form the existential threat would be, and what sort of weapons would be needed against it. The tidal reactor can externalize, but it doesn't have any interior mechanisms for this, so it needs an equipment loadout. And even though the raw force is still unmatched by any mass-produced unit, it wasn't built with an effective way of using it. The original pilots had to bend slowly the default forms of their ship selves into new shapes, and retrofit the ceremonial and theoretical weapons into ones better suited for the existential threat, and eventually each other. In time, the shape conforms to the human inside. In this in part confirms that specific theory. The human part isn't an ear, but the whole of the lobes of your earrings. Lipstick is real, lips are not. And we see humanity defined in its gravitational output. That is one of the most fascinating final paragraphs I've ever read. Like, the human part isn't the ear, but the hole in the lobes for your earrings. Lipstick is real, lips are not. And we see humanity defined in its gravitational output in art circles, whether that is video games, whether that is books, whether that is just visual art, like a drawing. Negative space is always something that you have to keep in mind. Like, you don't want a page to feel overwhelmingly blank if you can help it. Or like how sometimes leaving part of a painting kind of barren looking, but still clearly painted, but like, or actually no, better example, when you do like ink shit, where you'll like draw with your ink brush, and like I've seen people do wonderful things with the negative space instead of doing traditional line work. And in my head, a ship self is the negative space of the human form almost, or the other way around. Either way, oh boy, my brain overdrive. It's happening. Give me the moon. It's time to move to the future peacefully or painfully. No factions, no dreams, just two girls lost and entwined in the warm summer of the moon's day. What are you doing here, Pluto? There's no mission? Are you going out? Just for a little while. Did you want to stop me? No, I'm getting a little better at not worrying about you. Even though you are? I'm trying, okay? Nyx is worried, isn't she? If you want to slip out for a minute, she'll be mad. I know. Especially if it's to see Lunatera. I keep not being her perfect girl. She always thought Lunatera was a bad influence. She's not wrong, I just want to try one more time. To bring her back? What if she takes you instead?
maybe that could happen too. Don't say that. I wouldn't mind. Maybe I don't want to be the one to lead anymore. Mars, why is everyone so obsessed with me? Why does everyone want to save me? Why isn't anyone strong enough to actually do it? Why do they think I'm strong enough to pull them up instead? I'm nobody. You don't have to be strong. That's a lie. Of course I have to be strong. Who else is gonna pull me up? Even you don't know how. I don't have any talent. I don't have any skill. I just never said no, I can't. That's too much. I don't know how. I just could never say those words. So I just kept doing it. Even though, hey. It's okay. It's not. Okay, it's not okay. It hurts. It's bad. You suck at making me feel better. Excuse me. I love you. Me too. Come on, go. Fight until we love each other goes so fucking hard. But how about I want to see make up and forgive? I don't think I did that last time. It's mid-afternoon, but only half the sky knows it. The burned gold fades into reds, pinks, purples, and nights at the edge of where the moon's terraforming abruptly ends. It's such an outlandish light, like standing in the middle of day and night, an unsteady feeling to be on the precipice of a hole between a world and not a world. The boundary between Earth and space is here. Terraforming engines dutifully pour blue, white, and green into craters and barren rock, the elements of air, water, and life. It will continue until the moon is the Earth and the Earth is the moon. Cosmologically, philosophically, literally, the long awaited unification of Luna Terra. I want to watch it forever, even though it's not going to keep going forever. There's a pleasure in watching something happen slowly, like keeping track of the moon in the night sky. You can see it happening inch by inch. You have to be patient, but it's such a satisfying feeling. Luna Terra looks up from her resting spot on Mercurium's foot. You ever watch it like this, Pluto? I thought I had finally snuck up on you for once. I'm still not as crafty as Saturn. Darn. You were pretty close before I noticed you. It could have been a surprise if you really wanted a surprise attack. Wait, sorry. Sorry, did I read that as the wrong person? And I did. You were pretty close before I noticed ya. Could have been a surprise if you really wanted a surprise attack. I wanted to see how long you'd trust me with your back. How'd I do? Greatly, until you tried to be clever at the end. Whoops. Definitely gonna get yelled at again. You got yelled at? Like I was in the academy again. Wasn't great. I wish I could have seen it. I'm really glad you didn't. I've seen all of your most embarrassing expressions, but I never get tired of seeing more. It's no use hiding them from me. Fine. I give up. Ow! You should get humbled more often. It's making you really cute. You don't want to fight me this time? I was hoping we could do it honestly. For real, for once. It might be our last chance for that sort of fight. I was thinking that too. But it's our last chance to take a walk like this. Today I want to do that instead. It's not like the end of walks are at stake. There's gonna be more walks, Luna Terra. But not exactly like this. I like it in the middle of things. The stillness of change. In the haves and in-betweens. So like you to be rooting for them, Luna T. Okay, though, because you asked, you never ask for anything, so you should get it when you do. Come with me. I want to show you something. What they find is a waterfall, or something that's trying to be a waterfall. The rushing water flows through the canyon until the atmosphere becomes too thin and the sun becomes so bright it turns to vapor and dissolves. A rush of water stopping abruptly, yet very slowly. The point where it stops is moving forward. Eventually, the atmosphere will take hold and the sun won't be able to strip the air and water from the moon. It's one of the last valleys left where space is still here, and nothing in inverse still exists instead of everything in us. I thought it'd make you happy. You love lilacs still? Oh, wow. They grow so fast here. Wonder how. I think the seasons are playing tricks with them. But look, they're trying to grow right into the line of the sun. You can follow the trail until they burn in the sunset. They'll keep crawling until they reach the valley. We're so unbelievable. Humans can overcome even this. Do sights like this still make you feel kinda sad? A little, but humans still deserve it, so I can't stay upset. This won't be the moon anymore, but part of the Earth. And I want to hold the human and alien together. We'll lose something if we don't. I wish it could be in the middle place forever. We grasp for something new, but we lose everything we touch. I just want lilacs and a home. A space with room for us, wherever that is. How much would you give up to have that? A lot. How much would you? All I would need to make that choice is for you to make me feel that way, Lunati. How do I do that? Convince me everything's gonna be okay. And that we won't be losing anything, even though we will. Make me feel that way once again. Well, we're no stronger, smarter, more perfect than any human beings on Earth, first of all. Second, there's no place more beautiful on the moon than anywhere on Earth, really. No, think. Nothing else in the universe looks that different, that beautiful, that incredible. Third, touching ship to ship isn't any different than touching body to body. We can speak the same language with just our own flesh. It's just a metaphor anyway. You can be human anywhere. That we did it up in space just means that we can do it back on Earth too. We know the language. First, we never would have been allowed to grow up like this were we back on Earth. Second, space is cool. Third, giant robots are impossibly cool, and nothing that you could possibly say will make you change that fact. We're all we have. The world made me awful, and I had to fight so hard just to be provisionally recognized as human. So I don't know why I miss it so bad. I wish you could tell me. My standards probably are bad. This part'll also sound stupid, but I don't want to believe we couldn't also be happy on Earth. No matter how good the future is, that our happiness isn't that fragile. You know, you say you have very little faith, but I think you have more than me. You don't want to give up. You have so much faith you want to keep going, even if you believe it's totally pointless. You're obscenely stubborn. Things could be much different. You and me especially, we are very, very lucky. If we'd been born in space, we would have been even luckier, but you only get so much. I worry about what we would be like if that hadn't happened. For me or for you. If what hadn't happened? Would it have taken us even longer? I already feel like I became a person too old. Would we spend our lives without ever... Luna. We'd have found another way. Somehow in Earth or space, no one is ever born whole. We got there eventually, didn't we? Heh. I think so too. So I should like to believe that no matter what, we could live and be happy, even in mortal bodies, on our boring, awful home. I mean, they can't undo what we have done. When they take us back, they'll have to make us part with them. Isn't that the simplest, sneakiest way to get everything we always wanted? You really make me believe sometimes, Lunatera. Giant robots are still pretty cool, though. Well, I tried. Maybe it worked. It might be too late, but maybe it convinced me.
You know I trust you, even when I can't. Come on, let's go smell the flowers. I want to touch them. I want to see if they're really as pretty as I remember from Earth. It's not quite 9.2 milliseconds square a second or meters a second squared yet, but here on the moon. But it's getting there, and the lilacs smell wonderful, and they're soft, and the air and water is like a dream, the real thing. You're really warm, and you're really cold. Still, you're right. Skin to skin isn't ship to ship, but it's nice too. Feels exactly the same in a different way. No more or less. I missed you so much. I'm here. I'm right here. You really are. You're really still so bold, Lunati. I mean, I'm teasing. Oh, okay. That doesn't mean I'm also not offering. You're so mean to me. But you love it. You can't be so strong when you're not trying to be strong. Are you prepared for this future? You must be relieved. I'm not. Relieved or prepared? Relieved. You can't possibly be ready for it. Though I should have known. I pushed you so hard and in pursuit of something impossible, I think. So I should be surprised that in the end you would follow the path to become something impossible. You give yourself too much credit. I think you're right where I learned that from, you know? If you want to feel bad about that. And not any of those other things. Don't think about it like we're going away. Think about it like we're growing up. Like unruly kids who have to find themselves without you. We'll come back someday for you. I wish I could believe that. I wish so much. Have some faith in yourself for making a girl who could do something impossible. And in us for choosing an impossible to create. The fleets crash, ship self against ship self. In the shadow of the gravity well, none of it is visible from Earth. A quiet conflict, not a war, has been stressed. It's more like a very pointed argument. It could be a conversation if only they understood each other, and sometimes they do. It could be kissing if they loved each other, and sometimes they do. With the gravity well open, unrestrained, they fight weightlessly, under the full weight of their own gravity alone. A truer way to fight than anyone has experienced before. To fight with one's own self, and the full weight of one's gravity, in the hollow weight of inverse, is the only time this will be possible. Our true power, unrestrained. Celestial mechanics simply takes advantage when no one else is looking. Celestial mechanics made no plans to win, after all. There's no way to win this sort of conflict. The winner only has to prove a point. The way that celestial mechanics accomplishes this is simple. True to themselves, without the weight of gravity tying them to Earth, tying them to orbit, holding them in their human forms. What happens next is the natural result. And that's what proves their point. This isn't immediately clear anything. It isn't immediately clear anything is wrong. It happens naturally as a consequence of a truly unrestrained conflict. Each one climbing to the top, seeing how far their limits are, and realizing suddenly there aren't any. When the first pilot sends her reactor's limits past theoretically possible range, her reactor reverts, and what only existed deep inside is now the face she wears. A perfect, unbelievably true self. So true that it cannot even exist in orbit. Until she's joined by another, and another. In unison, their gravity holds them together. Good job, Saturn. That's exactly how I imagined. Not having second thoughts, are you? It's everything you wanted. And it'll be good for Earth as well. Thank you to Dr. Church for the raid. Much appreciated. Let me get you something right quick, and let me get you a shout out.
Okay, hang on. No worries. Let me shout you out properly. I kind of forgot that copying and pasting exists. Hang on. How you doing? I hope stream went well. Thank you so much for the raid. You were playing Marvel Rivals. Oh, fuck yeah. I hope it was fun. Hope you got some wins. And what the hell do you mean I'm not following you? There we go. I can fix that problem right there. We are playing Heaven Will Be Mine. It is a extremely LGBT sci-fi visual novel that we are on the third and final route of. And about towards the end, like we are in an ending. So if you're specifically ducking spoilers, now's about your time. And thank you to Doc for trusting your community with me. I hope you had a good stream. I hope you have a good night. Take care of what you gotta take care of. Your infection of the gravity well was perfect. And you will successfully fuse with your ship's self, just like you wanted. It's for our happiness too, of course. Humans will get to live as humans, aliens as aliens, as enemies mutually agreed upon, with no possibility of communication or reconciliation, and no conflict or guilt on their own sides. Humanity shouldn't externalize all of their problems, but I think we can still manage progression with most of them. And with your hands already sunk into the gravity well, I should tell you it's technically too late. Things will take care of themselves from here. And thanks to your actions, I have had more than enough time to prepare for re-entry. I knew it'd be that easy for you to ditch us. Not so. I still find you all so fascinating, leading such beautiful lives. I have regrets, of course, but I have a real world to get back to. I'm not having regrets either. I'm only mad about how much you're underestimating me, because you think I'm satisfied only getting what I want, and not greedy enough for more. Sarah breaks open her circuits and the aversion starts immediately. She can feel the gravity well pulling her inside out. The secrets within humans to be pulled to the fore. She needs it, but not just yet. I wonder what it is you think you can do at this point. You've already conceded. Unless you're hoping for some reconciliation between humanity and the alien. That is by definition impossible. It must not be too impossible, or you wouldn't be training all your weapons on me. Well, I'm impressed, because I finally have no idea what it is you're doing. But just because I don't understand doesn't mean I'm not gonna prevent it. You have no understanding of what the violence of actual combat is like under Earth's authority. Yepidus Oh, that is one of the worst names I've ever... It's like 2 names in a row that are not pronounced how they're spelled. Yepidus Roncesvalles Terra is equipped with certain features that allow it to divide and categorize. It's an abstract ability. With a lot of applications, sophisticated and sinister, and the warrant of Earth itself behind it. So Lunaterra figures the best solution is just to shoot it. A lot. It's honestly a very good solution. Yepidus buckles, and whatever thing he thought he was doing, he isn't. Huh. Easy. That's because the hard part's coming next. Promise? You say that now. But thanks for going along, even though I didn't tell you anything. Make the best of a bad ending. Hey, it's not anything worse than whatever you had planned. Probably. So help me make it best end. So help me make it the best bad end we can find. Pay attention. Pay attention, or die. The intent is lethal and simple, but the weight is not heavy enough to kill. The string of pearls tears a hot pink scar through space-time. His bullets can go there. If you can come close enough to talk to me, you can come close enough to kill me. Hang on. I had to write something down. There we go. If you can come close enough to talk to me, you can come close enough to kill me. But I don't want either. I want to never see or know you throughout space and time. Indeed. So complete the transition. If you remain human, you'll die. I can ensure it. The autonomous military units come to his aid, but their sensors are off. Their movements are slow. Human gravity is losing its authority here, and their tools are useless. I could seriously, really use a little bit of help here. Well, if you're actually asking. PLUTO unfolds the rhythm. She decodes the sequence. Plates shift, engines hum, her eyes open. So she opens up her eye, her other biggest eye, big enough to swallow it whole, and then she blinks and swallows. She's got hungry eyes. PLUTO's hands hold Saturn's tightly. I thought you promised me no bad endings. That's what I'm trying. Might actually be working. This already feels too good. I really know what you mean now. Do you have an answer? I'm sort of counting on you for it. You think I know how to find the good future in all this? Well, you're a good person. I need you to be the one not just thinking about us, but the humans left behind too. You think you wouldn't? I think you think too much of me, too little of yourself. Iapetus has an answer. The story ends when the weapon that is designed with that exception to kill does so, and forces a choice between one of two sides. Human or alien, two distinct and incompatible worlds. The mathematical model needs to be perfect. It needs to allow for exchanges of matter, light, information, without altering for understanding or without allowing for understanding or communication. This is an extremely easy calculation to create. It's the oldest narrative there is. It's the one that Earth has told again and again and again. Iapetus has an extensive library to draw from, starting from the first moment humans separated light from dark. There is a way, and fuck off with this. We don't want it. Saturn throws the narration out. It shouldn't work like that. Why not make up something different? Who says physics work this way? Who says the calculations turn out that way? Wait, what? Iapetus wants us to take the fall. For everyone. For the Earth. For us to scapegoat each other. I hate that. If our cores collapse, a world where anything is possible arises. And at the same time, we'll have decided of all the possibilities that make us human. Or we'll have closed off all the possibilities that make us human. The existential threats we always feared and hoped to reunite us will be real. And they'll finally have a real war. I want all of that, but I just want to add a little tiny bit extra to it. Iapetus wants to reduce the only information it will be possible to exchange between us to violence. But you want for something different to be exchanged. So we can't hurt each other, but that we can something else with each other? It'll have to start very small and very imprecise. At least it'll be like something different, you know? There's no chance of going back to human. Not zero chance. Although we won't even remember what being human is, so pretty low, I guess. That's good enough for me. Let's hope it's good enough for us all. There's no limit on how big we can get. Size is a funny dream. It's relative. It doesn't have to matter anymore. It can be set like any other variable. As the gravity well draws matter towards it, and even light, it emits a not energy, a not light, that can perfectly make up a body just as well as all that. Big enough to be equal with the Earth, big enough and close enough to compete with the Moon, to anchor in the space and time equal division between us, to be a new and separate world. The autonomous units are single vectors, prepared for human violence, and we can't be cheated like that anymore. Only sad humans can have their gravitational impression in the universe terminated by the extinguishing of their bodies. They'll have to fight us on our terms if they want to get rid of us now.
the way humans should fight, with no fear of ending. The consequences will be unimaginable. We aren't going to have selves or consciousnesses like we're used to having. Oh, wait, no. The consequences will be unimaginable. We aren't going to have selves or consciousness like we're used to having. That's what it means to give up humanity. We won't know who we are, and we might not understand or grasp each other anymore. That's true. You might not know how true that is. It's so true. The final mystery of what is human, what is alien, ever shifting for all ground reclaimed by humans lost to them. Humans have a lot. We'd only be able to imagine what it was like to be them. Hey, it's not all bad though. Don't overestimate the human race. Do the math. If we lose how humans love each other, do you think there's ways to love each other that humans don't know yet? That's an amazing fucking question. Like, yay, you made it back. Welcome back, Peach. Hello. I like that. I like that question a lot. I want to put a pin in that. Because oh, I love it. Do they really? Do they really know every way there is to touch and know each other? Or is there still much more to learn, too? Maybe we're only scratching the surface? There are many, many routes. We don't understand each other in some ways, but we'll understand each other's in ways we never could. And we'll know how to write a new story, with our gravity, a new world. As we leave the level of existence he insists on engaging us at, our tides push him back, and Earth's tides, which no longer bind us, insist on him. What are you doing, hypocrites? Do you want to fight in the realm of heaven? Your place is on Earth. There's only to wonder at now. That's only to wonder at now. The story's ending twists. We are far away. Another space and time. Watch us in the sky, but never touch. Until you find your answer on Earth, you'll never touch heaven. I just can't give up, no matter what. That's the only thing I can always do right. I hope it's going to be enough. Keep reaching out, always offering, giving the chance. Maybe it'll be good to stop thinking about how to do a lot, when all I'll have is a little. Maybe I'll be so happy in the stars I won't care at all about Earth. I hope not. I hope I'll be so happy I want to share. I hope I'll be so happy I try to give it back every time that I can. In some ways, it's always what I was afraid of. That I was already too far away from humans. But if that's true, there sure are a lot of humans like that. Which makes me not special. It's my favorite thing to be. So many things to hold now. And so much more to see. Reactor collapse, aversion event. The impulses, always deep and always lurking, to turn inside out. Everything is reversed. Nothing is the same. Giving up everything that isn't real for everything that is. So now they can't even touch each other. Can't lie in bed with each other. Can't get legs entangled with each other. Instead, they have ways of physically interfacing that aren't like anything we could imagine. Need a second? Clouds of particles drift into each other. Maybe they touch through each other instead of just on the surface. It can be in a cold and gentle way, like through a ghost, or maybe a warm and gross way, like reaching into guts. Smiles communicated in physical light and embrace psychedelic mind matter. Lazy sex in a morning bed. Except the bed is curvature of space-time, and the sex is something so obscene it'd make your mind implode to consider it. The ship's elf fused to the hide. The gravity reactor to the flesh. Because humans have sciences to distinguish the differences between those things. And these new aliens don't. They don't have arts or sciences. They won't know what the differences are. They won't know what they mean. But they will understand the difference between many other kinds of things that we do not understand. A real hero would have turned out differently. But that's not who we are. Our ships have mouths now, and they're open, and they can scream. There can be sound in space. Now our vibrations can touch things that aren't there. Humans know it's time to flee. The threat from within is now without, as they desired. The moon is no longer hospitable, as alien and mysterious as it was long before it was possible to reach it. Can't speak or write, has other ways of communicating information. Can't use old senses, has new organs for it now. Can't love in the old ways. There are new ways of having that too. This is just really beautifully written. Just like genuinely captivating prose, which I don't. It is rare I even get that out of a visual novel, much less any video game ever. Like, whoo. Playing together in the stars, we can do that, though. The metaphor translates. That's what this is, indisputably. And everyone is invited. Who wants to become a world and never touch Earth? That's a different world now. Their strange intimacy can touch us even now, longing to teach us and tell us what they've learned, what they share, laughing without laughing with each other even now. They're so far away that they cannot be our enemies, but they will break our hearts. It's a lovely night together. Perfect not for stargazing, because the light of the trinary system outshines them by far, but it's a perfect night to watch the three of them. Look, there's Lunaterra, the 2-in-1, rising, almost full. She almost outshines the moon, a bridge between Earth and the moon no one can cross. The nebula cloud of Pluto is a shimmering, benevolent mystery, swallowing an eighth of the sky in a permanent sort of twilight, and the glittering twinkle of Saturn that tricks the edge of your sight, this way and that, always seeming to be in the center of your eye, but hard to see directly, and making the boundaries of your heart and mind ever so thin. We lay out our blankets and watch until someone catches us, and we run. But it's all fun and games until that day comes. They're waiting for us as always. They just need one, or three, to reach out to them again. Even if it's just to fight, to touch them once again. Holy fuck. That's a good ending. Like, it feels so fucking bittersweet, and like, that's good. That's what it should be. That's what an ending like that should be. It's not everything you wanted, but maybe it's things you didn't know were good for you. You know what I mean? Like, in the way of there are feelings that we would be feeling differently, that there would be different ways to interface with the world around you. You know what I mean? This game's so good. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. I'm really glad I got to it. It was recommended to me years ago. But that's another LP on the books. That's another one finished in 2025. The current plan is to continue Outer Wilds as far as LPs go, and Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. We already did We Know the Devil. Just finished Heaven Will Be Mine. If I do another VN, I know which one I want it to be, because it's something I've been meaning to get to forever, but I haven't had the good time to figure out anything. Let's raid out to... Let's raid out to Code. So, if you stuck around for all that and enjoyed it, genuinely thanks a lot. This went on for way longer than I thought it was going to, but I had a legitimate blast. Which VN? That's a surprise.
I like element of surprise. I like putting something on a schedule and seeing someone go, "Oh shit, really?" I'll just give you a hint that it's recent. But yeah, if you would like to support the channel more directly, there are links below wherever you're watching to things like the Stream Elements tip link, community Discord server, and throwing wishlist, as well as the merch store. Also, casual reminder, until the 31st at 10 a.m. Pacific time, you get 35% off of um, sorry, 35% off of 5+ gift subs until the 31st. Thanks for the stream. See you next time. Of course, I would love to. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Supermarket together with Devil Ray.